It's been a while.
Hello.
When was the last time we did a section on a specific movie?
On a specific movie, I don't know. Was it Tron? Was it Tron? Was it Tron Legacy on a movie? Or
It might have been Guardians 3.
oh,
Or
Guardians
no, no,
3?
no, no. It was Spider Verse and
Transformers?
Transformers. Yeah, we did
Damn,
that
2
double
years.
feature. Yeah, 2 years ago.
2 years. Yeah, 2 years. I'm glad Spider-Man 3 Spider-Verse came out
Yep.
during those 3 years. That was fun, right? Wasn't it? How come we are in sectioning that?
Uh, because it's not coming out for another 2 years.
What? That doesn't make any sense. I said it will come out the year after. So that means that we would have watched it already, doesn't it?
Unfortunately, no.
Doesn't make any sense. All
Well,
right, jokes aside. Hello.
jokes aside, as you said, we are doing as it says there, and as you saw on the thumbnail, a review of each Mission Impossible movie. This includes 1 through 8. So, for anyone who hasn't
Eight
seen
movies.
Final Reckoning yet, this will include spoilers for Final Reckoning, as it will for every other Mission Impossible film. First one, it's 30 years old. You had time.
Plenty of time.
Otherwise, yeah, that's your one and only
Yeah,
spoiler warning.
spoilers. Spoilers for Final Reckoning.
Yeah,
Yes, you may have heard it, but Ethan and Benji do have gay sex in the end. Sorry,
we
you
haven't
may
even
have heard it
gotten
in the
through the
rumors, but
first
I'm
movie.
just, I'm just gonna, I just gotta drop it now. I just gotta let them know right
Oh
now,
my
right?
god. Well, I mean, it is Pride Month, you
I
know.
gotta, I have to let them know how serious we are about those spoilers.
Yeah.
Get it? And I know, I should spoil the most important thing from Final Reckoning.
Right. Yeah. Of course, there was nothing as important as Ethan and
Nothing at
Benji
all.
having sex.
Having gay sex.
Yeah.
Yes. Having absolute. It was the secret ending of the movie. If you stuck around long enough for the movie to
Yeah.
end, by the after credit scenes, yeah, that's right. They had three credit scenes because they credited the makers that filmed the scene where Benji and
Mm,
Ethan have sex.
I see. I see.
Yeah.
Yeah. Filmed in IMAX too. Yep.
Listen, it's like the moon. It's like the moon, the fake moon landing.
Hmm. They recorded the
It's like that.
backup.
It's like they recorded the backup.
That's yeah.
You never saw the credits, you know.
No,
So
no, yeah, of course. All right. Without further ado, let's get right into the first movie. Yeah.
hmm
Yeah. All right.
first
So
movie.
into the first movie. Boom. Mission Impossible. Juan.
Well, no, the first one.
Yep. So this film released in, I believe, 1996, and it is written, or not written, but directed by Brian De Palma and stars Tom Cruise, John Voight, Jean Reno, who else? Good old Ving Rhames, and Henry Cerny as Kittredge. The film was written by David Koepp and Robert Thawne. David Koepp wrote such powerhouses like Jurassic Park, Death Becomes Her, and the first Sam Raimi Spider-Man. And Robert Towne had written Chinatown, The Firm, and Days of Thunder. The film released into pretty much critical acclaim and is considered one of the best spy thrillers ever made, and hard launched an entire franchise based on Tom Cruise's singular success.
How much influence did that movie do to spy movies in like the United States also? Gotta wonder.
Probably a lot, considering there were a lot of references after this movie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
not even just in spy movies.
Yeah. So, with that, this was where we started with our rewatch. So I guess we should point this out. We are both very massive Mission Impossible fans. I think it is worth stating.
Huge.
The films. You've never seen the show.
Never.
I've
Who
not,
knows?
I've
Maybe I
not
will
seen the
one day.
show, but we are massive fans of this film franchise. And when Final Reckoning was on the way, well, actually, we should say this: we both did our own separate rewatches right before Dead Reckoning.
We did.
And now we're coming back to it again right before Final Reckoning. So this was a fun one to watch again, I would say.
Sure was.
Yeah. I don't really know what we can say about it other than it's very, very good.
It's very good, and I think it's kind of underrated, like in the Mission Impossible scale of movies that people like think about. I think it doesn't get enough credit as it should compared to the ones that come out in the future.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've held that opinion for a while. Ever since I saw it again, I'm like, you know what? This is actually better than most people give it credit for.
And people give it a lot of credit.
They do.
Yeah. I think we realize it actually holds pretty high up in most people's Mission Impossible lists. If considering rankings, yeah, it often gets like top 3, top 4 spot in this franchise.
Often,
I would say so. I see it pretty often.
I guess I don't.
Yeah.
Compared to most, but maybe gotta look for more lists.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, it's super great. It's a really tight movie with a cool plot. Not a lot of action. It really relies on the spy magic.
No, this is not really an action movie.
No, it does have an action scene,
mm-hmm.
which honestly might be like, it's not a bad scene per se, but it really does feel like out of place for the movie.
Are you referring to the train?
Yeah, the train.
Okay.
Like compared to like how everything else goes in the movie, the train feels very, very much like, since it's the only spectacle part of the movie, it kind of feels out of place. But I liked it still. It's just like, wow.
Yeah, this is compared to every other film in this franchise. Mission Impossible, the first film, is strictly a spy thriller. It is. It has nothing else, like no other type of subgenre. It is just a spy thriller. It is focused entirely on the mystery and the intensity of whatever it is they need to find or get. And in this case, it's the knock list. Was the list of all IMF agents or something? Was what it was?
Yeah, the list of a bunch of agents that was gonna get leaked in the world, and they were gonna killed if they saw it because they were secrets, bro.
I think what really strikes me with watching this film again, because when I watched it a couple years back, I thought it was just good. I was like, this is a good movie, it's a solid movie, but I think it's been perfected in its future entries. Watching this again with you, something clicked a lot more watching it again. That other time. And I think it was just number one. It was just Brian De Palma's directing is spectacular here. He does a lot with, especially like we kind of joked about it, but like the Dutch angles.
Yeah.
What he does with those angles, and he tries to keep things very like quiet and altered, so that there's there's a sense of like unease at times. It's a very, very traditional spy thriller in that way. I think it's a very, 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 very good movie. I honestly don't have too much to say about it, unless you want to get into some more like nitty gritty details. But no, I think it's a pretty excellent movie. I think it has issues that we can talk about. I think the characters are a little paper thin. It's more so about the plot than the specific characters. I think we're going to talk about this later as we get through the rest of these movies, but I think they really figured out Ethan's character like 4 movies from now.
I think in the movie there's only 3 characters that really stand out to me while watching it. That's Ethan, Kittredge, and Jim.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is those 3 only. Kittredge being a pretty neat like temporary antagonist for in Ethan's POV, because he thinks Ethan is the mole. He thinks he's the bad guy, so he's going after him, and we know Ethan's the good guy.
Yeah.
Ethan himself is a pretty cool protagonist to follow at first.
Yeah.
As an entry into into seeing him, and he's kind of a subversive protagonist, because Jim, right? He's the protagonist in the TV show.
Yes.
And as far as you know, he gets fucking killed off in like the first 2 minutes of the movie. It's crazy. Yeah. So it's like, holy shit! Now we're following this guy called Ethan Hunt, huh?
Yeah. And he's pretty much just 90s Tom Cruise.
It's pretty much 90s. That isn't the same though.
No.
But you see him losing his mind in the movie.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and then Jim himself being a pretty cool twist villain, even though it's pretty obvious when you see he's alive.
Yeah.
But like I love the conversation between him and Ethan in the train station, I believe it was, where they were.
I think so. It might have been in a restaurant.
In a restaurant or something like that. I love.
It could have been the train station. I don't recall.
It was somewhere around that. Yeah, it was because it was basically him telling Ethan why the false villain Kittredge betrayed him, but that was him talking about himself basically.
Yeah. And Ethan is piecing it together the whole time.
Ethan's piecing it together, and Jim himself knows Ethan is piecing it together.
Yeah.
So they're both like communicating in a way where they know that the other one's full of shit.
Yeah.
But they're still keeping the pretense up, and you see that pay off in the train. Like that's so fucking cool.
Yeah.
Like spies upon spies.
It's such a great piece of directing too, because it's like the perfect encapsulation of show and tell. Because like the general rule of thumb for like the general understood rule that can be broken is show don't tell, right?
Yeah.
And I would say I myself am a heavy proprietor of show don't tell. I do not like tell don't show. But in the case of this movie, Mission Impossible, it kind of does both. It's showing and telling, because that's like as you described, it's them both calling each other out on their shit internally, and we're watching explicitly from Ethan's POV, but the flashbacks, or rather like the intercutting with what he's seeing and what he's piecing together to clue us in that Jim is full of shit, especially with that music that plays, the Danny Elfman score is
great score.
Yes, great score. No, it's just a fantastic sequence. It's not my favorite in the movie. I think we both have a favorite sequence of the film.
Yeah, which is what
getting the narc list.
Yeah. Which I think we agree is the most tense sequence in like all the movies.
Quite possibly the most intense sequence of the entire series.
And it's the silence.
It's the silence in, like, it's such a simple stunt, but it's so well done. The way it's cut together, and just as you mentioned, the heavy silence. It's fantastic. It is a fantastic sequence. I think there's only one other sequence in the entire franchise that is as intense as that, and we'll get to it a lot later from now.
That's possible.
Yeah.
Might be here a while, folks.
We'll be here for a bit. I think the film is it's also very stylish. It's a very sleek movie. It's very fancy. They have the crazy gadgets, the computer hacking, and the masks, which are the most far-fetched technology in the entire movie. Everything else is like sensible for 1996. It's just
technology. The masks are so silly.
The masks and the glasses that have a camera in them.
Yeah. Oh, fuck.
Yeah, and then Kittredge has the watch where you can see active video feed from the which is like, once you buy into the masks, you can buy into everything else. I don't think that's necessarily an issue, but it is just funny to point out that it's like, these are objectively silly, but the movie pulls you in enough that you're willing to buy all of it, despite how like nonsense that is for 1996.
I always just wonder, like, what is the most foolproof version of the mask? Because they all fucking break after like Ghost Protocol. None of them work.
Yeah.
How do I get this thing? How do I get this thing working like properly?
All of their tech stops working after Ghost Protocol.
I don't know. Ask Ambrose. He's got the best mask to use.
Apparently,
to work for him all the time. You said it's stylish. Is it more stylish than Mission Impossible 2?
No, it is not.
But that movie is just dripping full of style.
Yeah. But we already mentioned like the biggest issue, or at least I have. I don't know about if you share the same issue, but the characters are pretty thin. It's not really about them. It is entirely about the plot and the spectacle of it, because it's still a big movie at the end of the day, and they have that giant like train sequence, which I think is where kind of the movie loses me a little bit. in that final sequence. It gets a bit much, which is crazy to say considering what the franchise does later.
Yeah, what happens? But like, I mean, I don't know, man. You got two guys on top of a bullet ass train with a helicopter going in a tunnel chasing the train before staying. Like, oh, what the fuck?
Yeah, and it's crazy to say considering we buy fully into the final train sequence of Dead Reckoning. Like, it's like, yeah, it is crazy. But yeah, I mean, do you have similar issues, or do you have anything more to add? Or stuff to say?
I say I have more. Just about my exceptions being Ethan, Kittredge, and Jim. I mentioned them already. I like them a lot in the movie. There's a romance, I guess.
Yeah.
Between Ethan and Jim's wife.
Yeah. Ethan the cuck.
That's not his wife. It can't be a cuck. She's not his. Maybe Jim would be the cuck if you said, hey, if you gotta sleep with him, to. No wait, that would make him a cuck. That would make him an instigator to sleeping with him. If you command it, you're in charge of the relationship.
Yeah.
So it's technically not cucking. It's more like
he's the other guy.
He's the other guy. Yeah. God. Peter, I'm the other guy.
Yeah. All right. Quick ranking. Where does this rank on the Ethan Hunt haircut ranking?
The Ethan Hunt haircut.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I've heard this before. Okay, so it's short, so it's automatically one of the better ones.
My personal ranking is it's probably like at 6 or 7.
6 or 7?
Yeah.
It's pretty low.
Yeah. It's pretty clean, but I don't know. It's very like almost like spiky. Doesn't have the coiffed that he's had later.
So yeah, looks like you got electrocuted.
A little bit. It's a little frizzy.
Little frizzy. You can't go anywhere. That's the problem.
Yeah.
I'll put it at like 5.
Mm-hmm.
5. I'll take 5.
Yeah.
Now we go to the best haircut.
Oh, okay. What would you, if we're moving on then? Yeah. What would you rate Mission Impossible?
Rate? I don't know. It's fucking probably 8.5.
8.5.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Pretty. It's getting close to a 9.
Yeah.
Maybe on a rewatch, but 8.5 right now.
Yeah, I'm at an 8 for it.
Really love it.
Yeah, I really like it. I think it's a really good movie. Yeah. All right. And from there, we will go on to the next movie, which is Mission Impossible 2.
Mission Difficult 2.
You've been running that joke into the damn ground. I just want to let you know. Let this audience know, ever since we watched this movie, he's been repeating Mission Difficult for the entire franchise rewatch, and even in points where we're not talking about anything Mission Impossible related, and he'll just say Mission Difficult. It's the most throwaway shit-ass line from Anthony Hopkins in this movie. This movie's...
If it was anyone else saying it...
This movie's terrible.
If it was anyone else... Yeah.
Alright, so Mission Impossible 2. Directed by John Woo. Once again stars Tom Cruise and Ethan Hunt. It also stars Doug Ray Scott, Sean Ambrose, Tandaway Newton as Nia Hall, Ving Rhames, Richard Roxburgh, and Brendan Gleeson as a random fuck-all character.
You would forget about that, wouldn't you?
Yeah. The film was once again written by Robert Towne, but solely written by him this time, so maybe he might be a shit-ass writer after Mission Impossible 1, because what the hell is this movie's script?
Bro fell off.
The film released to pretty negative reviews. Wasn't ultra successful, but the few praises the film has gotten over the years is of its absolute insanity and John Woo's direction. And honestly, just to kind of jump ahead, I think John Woo's action in this movie is the singular thing keeping it up.
Yeah?
The action in this movie, despite being fucking bonkers, it's John Woo action, so it's fun. There's an entertainment value from just watching, from watching the stunts go through and watching the gun fu happen. There is fun to be had in that way, but yeah, this movie's actual plot and like the mission is nonsense. It's very tough to watch at times.
Very tough. It's got just a silly little mess that just deprives just goes so far away from what Mission Impossible 1 was.
Yeah, it is the complete opposite.
It feels like a lot more generic action movie type, rather than Mission Impossible, spy thriller.
It feels like an of the time kind of movie.
2000 ass movie, that's for sure.
Yeah. God, yeah, it's such a 2000 ass movie. It's
got the slow mo, you got the dramatic music, you got the dumb woman protagonist.
Mm-hmm.
The love interest.
Yeah.
Who's she's there.
She is there to be eye candy and nothing else.
The good guy and the bad guy they're drooling for her.
Mm-hmm.
The bad guy wants to keep her because he's horny.
God, he's such a terrible villain.
He says this verbatim.
He is awful.
And he's not a bad idea, mind you. Like his concept is that he's someone who replaces Hunt when Hunt is not there.
He's Hunt's stunt double.
Disguised on him. Yeah, basically. Which is a pretty cool idea because Ethan Hunt, the IMF guy, can be everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
So send the guy that people expect, from him, that is as skilled and knows how Hunt works. Cool idea. And have him go rogue. Yeah, it's a pretty cool idea. But why is he such an annoying horn dog?
He's such a annoying horn dog, and his dialogue doesn't help either. Like you already mentioned it, but that bit where he's talking to his subordinate, fucking Dracula, and he basically just tells him like, "Yeah, what of it? Yeah, I'm horny as fuck right now. What of it? You gonna do something about it?"
Yeah, so what? So what? You think I don't fucking know that?
And it literally like throws away his whole plot immediately. It's like, oh, so so what are you doing? Like, what
I want to keep up, Ethan. I want to keep her.
God. And Ethan is just a crazy person in this movie. Like he's not even close to whatever Ethan was in the first movie, which wasn't even much in the first place. This is crazy. This has lost his mind. Tom Cruise, like obsessed with extreme sports, climbing rock mountains, like for the sake of it, throwing fucking exploding glasses into camera, having that crazy ass long hair.
Long hair's great though.
Yeah,
I wish I could have long hair.
That's like a 2 to 3 on the Ethan Hunt hair ranking chart.
Pretty great. It's got Mission Impossible has one of the best Ethan Hunt hairs ever.
Mm-hmm.
So credit to that.
Yeah,
much credit to that.
But what was Anthony Hopkins there for?
He was the mission analyst who gives him the job.
What happened to the cool, like, fancy technology to do that? Why do you have to fly Anthony Hopkins out to phone in a performance for 2 minutes and then leave?
Well, they gave Ethan the glasses to where to go, and then they give him what was it? They give him a new mission came up, wasn't it?
Mm.
Yeah. So he gave him the new mission.
Because the plot is that
girl?
There's a virus, injectable virus that like kills you in like 2 days. That exists, and Ambrose wants to spread it around the world. What, for profit? Because he can create the antidote. Was that what it was?
Yeah.
Okay.
And he just so happens to be connected with the same person.
Yep.
That Ethan flirted with when she was stealing shit.
Yep.
And so Anthony
And
Hopkins
he also
goes,
just so
"Hey,
happens to have the connections that gave him that information, as well as to control an entire.
well, the IMF knows everything, so
Yeah, that's the thing. If the
they
IMF
freaking know
knows
everything
everything, why don't they send someone to stop him? Like before he becomes a problem.
because they're not a military agency, I guess,
Okay.
and it's spy stuff, so they gotta like sneak it in and steal it and stuff like that."
This fuck ass
She's
movie.
a woman. She's how much she needs.
Craziest line I've heard in a movie in a long time. That is so foul.
The movie has interesting opinion on women.
Yeah, this movie has very interesting and outdated ideas about women. It's
based.
It's. I guess it would make sense considering this man wrote Chinatown, right? But
I never seen Chinatown. I don't know.
I haven't either. I'm just saying shit.
Oh, shit about that. You're just saying shit.
I'm just saying things.
You do like saying shit. Is Chinatown sexist?
No idea. I haven't seen it. Maybe it is.
Maybe,
maybe it is. Maybe it is. Who knows?
Maybe it's
a movie from 1974. You know, maybe it is.
maybe.
But yeah. Anything you want to note? This fuck ass movie.
No.
Yeah, I don't really have anything I want to. Yeah.
No. It's just a really bad movie.
It's a really bad movie.
But it's funny sometimes, so you know it's what it is.
Yeah.
Luther's in it.
Luther is in it.
He yes, that's the guy who goes, "Oh man, I don't know about this."
Yeah.
The scene of him walking up to Ethan, you shouldn't do that, man. The scene of him walking up to Ethan and the woman is funny. His face.
Yeah, where he's just freaking out for like 2 minutes. I will say. Oh, this is this thing, Hans Zimmer's score.
Oh yeah, it's fuck.
It's so bad. This score came out the same year as Gladiator.
What a difference.
He went from this to Gladiator. How do you do that? How do you do that?
Why is it so bad? I don't get it. Why is it just such a bad score? Honestly, one of the worst scores I've
It's
ever
really
heard.
bad.
And from Zimmer, I wouldn't expect that.
Yeah.
Like, I think when I found out this was Hans Zimmer who did this, I'm like, what?
Yeah. Like, what are you talking about?
What do you mean? What? Doesn't he have one good track?
No, not at all.
Where are my bongos?
Yeah.
Does Zimmer hate bongos?
Maybe.
Fuck.
I will say the most enjoyable part of the movie outside of that action is, I think, like the final 10-20 minutes are pretty fun.
Yeah, like you said, it's all action. So
yeah, it's all action, so it's fun.
Oh,
yeah, it feels.
Also, I guess one thing. Oh, go ahead, finish that.
No. It was pretty much done. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess this is gonna be a criticism for most of the movies.
Mm-hmm.
But since this is the first one that did it, this doesn't feel like a sequel to the first movie.
No,
and that will be a continuing theme for a while.
Yeah.
In these movies,
and
I don't know what the fuck.
I think that was intentional. I think they wanted them, or at least Tom Cruise wanted them to feel like standalone movies.
But this isn't James Bond. Like these are sequels that, consider things, and especially afterwards, you probably should consider these things. And it's like, it's such a strange because then like you said, it gets lost as to who the fuck Ethan is.
Yeah.
Throughout.
I mean, they eventually kind of figure out who Ethan is, and
they figure it out.
But they keep that consistent.
It just falls under the issue of like these movies are so different from one another that they don't feel like sequels; they feel like standalone movies. Yeah. And I think in a bad way too.
Yeah.
With the directors, the style, the fact that they just don't bring up anything from the prior movies. Mm-hmm. It's very strange. Like I said, what are we doing here?
Yeah.
And I'm sure people wanted to see Mission Impossible 2. Like, what happens after Mission Impossible 1?
Yeah. But
And it's this.
It's this. This is what happens after Mission Impossible 1. Yeah. This is such a... I don't want to say it's a nothing movie. There is stuff that you can watch it for, but it's very few and far between. It's mostly just those action scenes that you're watching this for. You're watching Ethan Hunt dual wield pistols and just shoot things and fly around and things are exploding.
There's doves.
Doves are flying, you know.
And funny screams.
He kicks up a gun out of sand, does a spin, and shoots Ambrose. It's fucking, yeah. Honestly, yeah, this feels like... Imagine if Kojima wrote this. It'd be weirder.
Metal Gear. It's Twin Snakes, though, not the other ones.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Twin Snakes is the bad one. The one where Snake Rider... You know what? That's what should have happened. Tom Cruise should have wrote a fucking missile in this movie. He should have been like, woohoo!
The Ethan in this movie would do such a thing.
Yeah, I want him to just pull a Nero and write a rocket.
Yeah. I gave this movie like a 3. I didn't really have much.
Yeah.
Too much
3,
about it
that
I would consider anything more than that.
This is one of those where I have like a impassionate, like, it's a low score. What can I say? I don't have a specific score. It's bad.
Yeah.
Watch it.
It's literally like, it's a bad movie. Moving on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But yeah, we can move on from 2 and go straight into Mission Impossible 3.
Tres.
Which is a movie.
The dark one.
That I, personally, defend like my life depends on it. I'm a Mission Impossible 3 defender here. Fucking fight me.
Yes, he is.
Mission Impossible 3 released in 2006. It was written and directed by J.J. Abrams, as well as his 2 collaborative writers, Alex Kurtzman and Roberto Orci. J.J. Abrams, you probably know him from the Star Wars sequel trilogy, as well as the first 2 Kelvin timeline Star Trek films, Super 8, Lost, Alias. J.J. Abrams has touched many things.
Don't say like that.
And Alex Kurtzman and Roberto Orci went on from this to write the first 2 Transformers films that were made by Michael Bay. They also wrote the Star Trek Kelvin timeline, Amazing Spider-Man 2, many other movies that you probably saw and didn't like. Yeah. This film also stars Tom Cruise once again, Ving Rhames as well, returning as Luther, Philip Seymour Hoffman, Billy Crudup, Michelle Monaghan, Jonathan Rhys-Meyers, Kerry Russell, Maggie McHugh, Simon Pegg, Eddie Marsan, and Lawrence Fishburne. The film released to pretty lukewarm reviews and a mediocre box office, questioning the integrity and the possible future of the franchise, in large part due to Tom Cruise's maligned personality by this point in time. However, the film has a bit of a cult following, and I am part of that cult.
It's funny how you just talked about Cruise's maligned, his reputation here, and then you say, "Oh, I wonder what it is," huh? And you say cult, like, "Oh,
that's what it is."
Mission Impossible cult.
That's what it is. Hey, we're both part of the cult of Mission Impossible.
It's true.
But I think Mission Impossible 3 is possibly J.J. Abrams' strongest film. I think it utilizes his strengths very well. And considering this was his first movie, it feels a lot more impressive.
Say, possibly so. Super 8 in this.
Super 8 in this, yeah. It's a very short list.
Yeah, I think I'm right.
But I also think this is Alex Kurtzman and Roberto Orci's strongest script. It makes the best use of the J.J. Abrams mystery box format, and I think the film is a lot more engaging, especially in its first act to an hour, because it kind of takes it back to more of the heightened reality tone that the first movie had, but also it adds more of the gadgets and more of like the spy movie imagery, as well as I think it
has action.
It still has action, and I think
those people like the action.
Yeah, and this movie also slowly starts to figure out who Ethan is. I think this is the first movie where you get more of a sense of Ethan as a person, because this movie actively focuses on that more, and I think that's one of the biggest strengths of the film. I also
Ethan Hunt, Christopher's wife.
Yeah. I also feel like this film has one of the better villains in the franchise, with Davian, played incredibly by Philip Seymour Hoffman. He's incredibly threatening, and I think Mission Impossible 3 is very underrated. I think it's better than most people give it credit for, because you'll often see Mission Impossible 3 right above Mission Impossible 2 on the rankings, and I will fight for this movie for as long as I live. I really, really like Mission Impossible 3.
Really likes it. Yeah, me, I like it. I enjoy it. It's an enjoyable movie with cool dramatic stuff. It's got the spy thriller stuff. Pretty much peaking in the only time where it happens, where they kidnap Davian. That was a pretty neat sequence, I think. I think that was the best usage of the team at that time, because they were all doing different things and reacting to the situations around them. And like you said, Ethan's character in this movie is probably the most interesting that they managed to get with him around this time. With again, issue with like 2 and this one too, it doesn't feel like a sequel to 1 or 2. This one kind of skips ahead. Suddenly Ethan has a wife. Suddenly he's got a wife, he's got a life, he's got a mundane life. He's close to retiring. He trained someone, a protege, and like I said, he's close to retiring. And the IMF is now like, it's got a building now. It's got a building with people who do stuff,
which is a very underrated cool thing about this movie.
I'm just wondering, if they're so secretive, why would they be like? Where were they again? Where were they stationed again in the movie?
I don't know. I want to say it was California, but I'm not sure.
Today is Friday in California. It's actually Wednesday.
But
yeah, so they're so secretive and stuff like that. It's kind of strange to me that they're in a building. I feel like if you're gonna be like that, you put it in like, I don't know, a secluded area or something. But that is cool. The fact that the IMF does have headquarters. They are a believable agency until they're not. It's very weird. It's very inconsistent. Davian, yeah, he's one of the better villains, I think. Also, I think he's not in it. Okay,
he's not in it.
It fucking happened again. David is not the main villain of the movie. He's a side villain. You didn't even mention Dr. Manhattan in the
Billy
movie.
Crudup, yeah.
Yeah, it happened again.
I don't even think Billy Crudup's that bad. He's definitely better than like the worst. I don't know.
Yeah, he's definitely better. Yeah. He's definitely better than the worst.
I think his motivation is a little more interesting.
Yeah, he's very underutilized, but it's an interesting motivation. But the thing is that motivation isn't backed up by anything. Like I wish in the movie that they actually have proof of like the effectiveness
what he was trying to do.
Yeah, it like never gets brought up. It's a very underdeveloped idea.
Yeah. And part of that's because we never learned what the rabbit's foot is.
Not even just a rabbit foot. His plan is that if you it's kind of like Red Hood.
Well, he's inciting chaos to create the solution.
Yeah, exactly. If you take control of crime, Red Hood, if you take control of like these threats to the world, the USA, you can control them. You can get more out of it than just getting one guy.
It's literally Syndrome. Like, you create the problem so that you can be the solution and win.
Oh no, Syndrome is more like, I'll be the only one.
Well, yeah, okay,
I'll take
different, yeah. But like that's what that is kind of what Syndrome was doing.
when no one's super.
Yeah, when everyone's super, no one is.
No one is. Yeah, this case it's more. I'm saving the country.
Yeah.
By controlling what happens. If I control it, I get more out of it, and I can subdue the situation. It's fine, but we never actually see that be effective or anything like that.
There's nothing. Well, it's also part because it comes so late into the movie. It comes in the last 20 minutes, 20, 30 minutes.
Yeah.
But
yeah, they could have teased it better. I think if they were gonna talk about that.
I think they definitely they did a good job at subvert because I remember the first time I watched this movie, which was a while ago, I did not predict that he was the villain, the true villain of the movie. I think they give you just enough of reasonable doubt that it could be Lawrence Fishburne that it never really comes into question that he's really the best.
That's definitely the idea.
Yeah.
No, it's not not even it's predictable. It's just it's underdeveloped.
Yeah, sure.
That's the main problem, and I don't think Davian really adds much to that idea either.
No.
He does feel like his own entity, despite him being the side villain.
Yeah.
By all means, and is oh well, and like we said, he's not in the movie that much actually, and I don't think he does enough. Davian.
Mm-hmm.
You say he's very threatening, which he threatens. He gives out a lot of threats and empty promises. I wish he was a more effective villain in that department.
I feel like he is in part massively threatening due to Philip Seymour Hoffman's performance.
It's the performance.
His dead stare it's incredibly ominous. If you were in a room with that man and that's the way he was talking with you, it'd be pretty fucking. I'd be shit,
Yeah,
he's a pretty intimidating guy, but no, I see what you're saying though.
It's kind of like Vegeta.
A little bit.
Talks so much shit and then he gets his ass kicked.
Yeah. Hey, Ethan kept his promise.
He did keep his promise. I swear to God, I'm gonna kill you.
Yeah.
It's got the best team Ethan's had in the movies.
By that
time.
point
By that point,
because they're an actual team. It's not just the Ethan Hunt show.
But I have to say it's still not great.
No, they don't really get to do a whole lot. They're pretty much there to just take part of one sequence and then be the getaway drivers for the second sequence.
Get that getaway driver. Dude, it's so funny. We're never gonna get characterization in the moment.
We never got anything with them.
But when they were gonna get it, even fucking jumps out of a window and lands on their car. It just ends. It's over.
The moment we're gonna learn anything about them. Yep.
Anyway, cut that out.
Yeah.
Anyway, moving on. That's pretty much what happened in there. I like the movie most in the first two acts. I think that the third act was a little flat for me, honestly.
That's fair.
Yeah, taking place in China and doing all that stuff. And the main stunt in the movie isn't even like that. I'm sure it was very dangerous, but it wasn't like one of those things that makes you go, this is tense. This is so fucking tense.
Talking about him jumping off the building in China, in Shanghai. I think that was done. It was not done in a real building. It was done in a set.
Right.
But I think the shot composition of it is really great. We haven't even mentioned it yet. Michael Giacchino's score. For this is great. He was hot off Incredibles on this one, so yeah, you can tell. I think Giacchino's soundscape for the two movies that he worked on, I think, is perfect. That's the exact vibe that you can think of when you think of Mission Impossible. That's the type of music you want to hear. I don't necessarily disagree with you on many of what you're saying. I think I just liked it more than you did.
Definitely.
I had a great time watching this movie both times. I didn't think I liked it a little less the second time.
Yeah.
I still very, very much enjoy this movie. I think
it's an enjoyable time. If you're
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say it's an enjoyable time if you're just some guy looking to see a dramatic action movie or whatever. It's your movie.
An intense action movie. Yeah. with some fun parts to it. I think this also, because not to spoil too much of what we think about Final Reckoning, but this movie has the better tone. It has the right tonal balance, I think.
Yes.
The Mission Impossible movies, from one all the way to Dead Reckoning, has a pretty good balance of like keeping things serious, but also having fun.
Even 2.
Knowing when to like be tongue in cheek and joke about things is something that the Mission Impossible movies before Final Reckoning do really, really well. And I think 3, despite having like that incredible opening that's like super dark, immediately having pretty lighthearted stuff right after, is the right balance, the right mix. And when we get to the next movie, it has my single favorite joke in the entire series.
That opening is a fucking hooker right there.
Yeah, that is a cold ass opening, and it's great. Yeah.
You're like, what the fuck?
Yeah. How do you feel about the action in this movie?
It's fine. Like relatively, it's not bad. It's not doesn't do anything as impressive as even 2 did.
No,
honestly,
no, nothing in 3 ever gets to the fucking motorcycle jousting. Like,
no.
Yeah.
I guess doesn't have the best car chase sequences. Doesn't have the best shootouts.
No.
Doesn't have the best fights.
Yeah, it's all very shaky.
Doesn't have the best heist. Well, I say heist in quotations because it's like a spy breaking into things sequence. Yeah. Doesn't have the best of much, but what it does have is Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
You know, I'm saying you say because I kind of got lost in me because really what it does have is the best.
What is this movie that does this the best of any of the movies? I don't think it does anything the best of any of the movies. Okay. It just does what these movies do pretty well.
So it's relatively just competent.
It's just a relatively competent movie. I will say something that this movie does very well that other J.J. Abrams movies don't do as well is the fact the idea of the mystery box.
Mystery box.
Works a lot better in this movie than it does in I think any other movie he's done.
The mystery box in Super 8 was the spaceship, right?
I haven't seen Super 8 in so long. I also remember Super 8 having a pretty mediocre final act as well, come to think of it.
Yeah, it's where they rescue the girl from the hive mind or whatever, right? And then the kid goes.
J.J. Abrams has a really hard time paying off his third acts, huh?
It's the final. It's where he goes, "Wait, giant monster alien, you're not a bad guy."
Yeah.
Oh, you're right. I'm not a bad guy. Shit. Okay, I'm leaving now. Bye.
Yeah. I will say this is because something that's been noted about J.J. Abrams, and it's something I agree with, is that he's a director with too much reverence for the past. He's very clearly inspired by like Spielberg.
He's a Spielberg kid.
He's a Spielberg kid, and it's obvious. He wears it on his fucking sleeve. He's just as reliant on his music the way that Steven Spielberg is reliant on John Williams. That's it. But I think this is the movie where I think it feels the least like he's just trying to ape Spielberg or George Lucas.
It feels like he was holding himself back from the crazier stuff that he usually wants to do.
And I think that's in part because this was his first movie.
Yeah.
And it's crazy because Tom Cruise gave him a lot of like credit and like let him hold the reins to it. But yeah, I think you're right. He was kind of holding back on himself a little bit. And probably part of that was just the fact that he had such a big movie on his hands and it was his first movie. He was coming off of TV.
It flopped.
It didn't flop. We did well enough on a modest budget, but like it was enough that it was concerning for the franchise's future. I quite like this movie. I initially had it at an 8.5. Now I'm at an 8. I think I very much enjoy this movie. I think it's pretty good. I would not put it above Mission Impossible 1 though.
Great.
Yeah. You said a 7?
Yes. Yeah, I had a 6. Like
a 6.
The okay territory, you know.
Yeah.
You know, I got my issues with it, but I enjoy my time with it. I don't like, you know, I'm not a Mission Impossible 3 hater.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's fair.
And mystery box doesn't bother me in this one.
What's up?
The mystery box didn't bother me in this one.
Yeah.
Anymore.
And it's great that it's the only mystery box that doesn't need to be answered.
Yeah.
Unsubtle foreshadowing.
Very, very true. Very true.
Yeah. All right. And we can go on from that to Ghost Protocol. Hell yeah.
Hell fucking yeah.
Ghost Protocol fucking rocks. Mission Impossible Ghost Protocol, released in 2011, written... Let's see, who was it written by? It was written... Well, we know it was directed by Brad Bird, who's coming off of The Incredibles and Ratatouille. The film was written by Andre Nemec and Josh Applebaum. Josh Applebaum wrote Nothing Before It, went on to write the live-action... Well, not the live-action... Yeah, live-action. The Michael Bay-produced Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movies. And Andre Nemec went on to also do the same thing. So these guys have written one good movie.
One good movie, and it's this one.
How did they write this and then go write those fucking turds?
I don't know. I don't know. Brad Bird said, "Do you make them good?"
Yeah. You know, maybe.
Tom Cruise.
No, I was gonna say maybe. Fuck. Why am I blanking this? Maybe McHugh's uncredited ghost writing on this movie really is really what makes it work, because this movie's fucking awesome. I love this movie so much. It's so much fun. It is the perfect balance of tone that you expect from a Mission Impossible movie. The directing is sleek and exciting. The action is fantastic. The set pieces are like bite your nails level of intense.
They were a trendsetter, you could say. Yeah.
This is the movie that set the standard for what each movie after it needed to hit. And it... I adore this movie so much. I think this is like top 2 Mission Impossible movies. And easily, I think, one of the best action movies of the last decade. Or of that decade, I should say.
Shit.
Yeah.
I know it's a really great movie. I super enjoyed it at the time, and I still do today. Like back when I saw it back then, it was like, this is pretty cool. It was one of those first memories that I actually had with like Mission Impossible properly, where it clicked. I was like, this is Mission Impossible. This is kind of cool, because you know, the order that I saw these movies in is very strange. Couldn't quite figure out what Mission Impossible was at the time, but this one was such a standout that I always went back to this one as when I think of Mission Impossible at the time. This is always the one that I went back to because it just does so much right. It's got, at the time, the best team dynamic. That's good this time around. It's actually a good team dynamic.
I think it is the best team dynamic in the entire series.
You think so?
Yeah.
Oh.
We can talk about Fallout later, but the way the team works together in this movie and the way they bounce off each other, I think, is fantastic. And the Brandt character really helps with that for me. Is really what puts it above. Because each team, any kind of team like this, where it needs a fucking pessimist, and Brandt is fantastic at that. Because in Fallout, they're all just like, nah, like, we gotta do what we gotta do. And Brandt's like the one motherfucker there going like, can we like stop for a second? But yeah, no, sorry.
Because you know what this? He's not because he's not used to that stuff. You know, he's like, oh, what the fuck?
Yeah, he's new here.
Yeah, he's not actually an IMF agent. He's more of a government agent than anything. Yeah. So he doesn't like do IMF stuff.
Yep.
So that's like, shit. He is a POV of an audience who has never seen the IMF. That's a first, actually. And only thing that Grace.
I would say Grace is technically that too. But Grace is very different from Brandt.
Yeah.
She's not as questioning as Brandt is.
But from like a perspective of someone who does do government stuff, like is an agent who then turns into a field agent, like for the IMF. That's interesting. Yeah, that's super cool.
Yeah. Yeah. How do you feel about Ghost Protocol?
I mean, I think I was gushing over a second ago. I love it. It's a really great movie. It does so much right. It's probably, like you said, when they started to get Ethan right.
Yeah, I think this is...
started to understand them a little bit more.
Yeah, I think they really, really get him by Fallout, but...
This is one of those, I think we have something there.
I think we're starting to figure out who Ethan is by this movie, because it's the first movie to acknowledge that another movie existed.
And yeah. This feels like a sequel.
This is a sequel to Mission Impossible 3.
Yep.
Yep.
Finally, took us 4 movies.
This is the first one where we got to see a different IMF team before Ethan gets there. Because every other movie we've had, the IMF team is established after Ethan has already accepted the mission.
Yeah, established around Ethan.
It's interesting to have a movie where Ethan is the one joining in on the mission and then becomes the team lead. This is also where, like, the repetition of the Mission Impossible franchise starts, because after this, every single time they're disavowed, and every single time the government's they're on the run. The government's after them. They don't have much. They don't have many options. They don't have much tech.
Despite it acknowledging 3 as a sequel, like this is a sequel to 3, it still has like this thing where it's like, we kind of just forgot about this stuff. Like, who the fuck is the analyst that picks up the secretary that picks up Ethan in Russia after the bombing? Who the fuck are you?
No idea.
Ethan, I was considered you such a good friend. Gets shot, dies.
Yeah.
Who are you? Sorry.
Well, no, he wasn't a... You're talking about in the opening when the guy he saves from the prison.
No. When the criminal.
The secretary.
The secretary. Yeah. Like, who are you?
One of how many secretaries you've seen in the Mission Impossible series now? 2?
So many. They're going out like they're fucking dropping like eggs.
Yeah.
It still does one of those things where it's like, what is the IMF now? You know?
Yeah.
I think we had something in 3, but now it's like...
3 is... The 3, it just feels like it's like the CIA. Like, it's the closest to that feels like a tangible thing. And in this one,
which just makes
back to being super spies.
And then it makes them more confusing because it's like, then afterwards, they're a lot more secretive going forward. That to the point where not many government people even know what they are.
Yeah.
Properly, they're like, there's just these guys, right? Like, I don't really know what they are. What have they done?
Yeah, there's some people that are higher up in the chain that have knowledge of what the IMF is, but they don't. Not everyone knows.
Yeah, it's very strange. Yeah. So weird. Never consistent with the IMF. So it's kind of a big issue with all of them, honestly. But yeah, even with that, it's not perfect.
No,
it rocks. It's really
it rocks.
Really cool,
it's
really
an incredibly entertaining movie. Yeah, but there are
problems.
Things.
It's got like a row of shitty antagonists throughout.
Yeah, all of the antagonists in this movie are very boring. And again, like you said about 3, like the villain in this one being just a nihilist, just doesn't care. Like, that's actually pretty interesting, because it's a guy who literally is impartial to all of it. He does not give a fuck. He's just like, I don't care, bro. This ain't about me.
Yeah, fucking had a silly motivation.
Yeah. No personal stakes.
This guy had a shitty motive too. If we nuke the world, then they come back into a stronger world.
Yeah.
Where have I heard that before?
Every other movie revolving around a doomsday.
Fucking hell. And then you got the Russian police chasing after Ethan, who are annoying, get in the way of the plot every time. Like, why are you here? You serve no purpose. Like the movie will tell you it serves purpose to
all it does is it's just to stall Ethan.
To stall Ethan is they do nothing. Anytime they do get stalled, the movie just gets rid of them.
Yeah. Like, oh shit, we wrote these guys in. Get him out.
Fuck me, Ethan knocks him out because he's a spy.
Yeah. Because he's really good at fighting.
Yeah. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, man. The villain's lame. Those antagonistic characters are lame. Moreau is there, I guess. Moreau is just a plot point.
She is just a plot point. I think she has the most going on because she's got history with one of the teammates.
One of the IMF agents, yeah.
Yeah, the woman. Forget her name.
Forget her character's name, but it's Paula Patton.
Yeah, got an issue with her, so she's got like the most going on there. Yeah. Which leads to just the team itself having a lot going on, better than them just being like there to help Ethan out. They do have their own characters.
Yeah.
Which,
they all have their own characters. They all have their own place to have on the team. They all serve a purpose.
They all do things,
Yep.
Seems like Rabbit has a knack with having groups work very well together, huh?
Yeah, he does. I really wish he could have made another one of these movies.
No, he ran out of something.
Yeah, he did Tomorrowland instead, I guess.
Fuck!
But, yeah, I guess now is a good point to talk about it. The set pieces in this movie set the standard going forward.
Oh,
each movie after this,
well, again, we gotta go bigger.
They needed to go bigger and crazier. And what could we have Tom Cruise dangle from this time?
This when you have the audience shit your pants.
Yeah. How do we make the audience actively like bite their own fingers off from anxiety? The Burj Khalifa
popcorn rapidly.
The Burj Khalifa sequence is like perfect.
Pretty great.
It's perfect. And the movie peaks there, and it does not get any better from there.
That is typical of the movie. Yeah, I said that.
It does not get better.
It just like peaks there.
It never gets. Yeah, it never gets truly bad. But yeah.
No, but like from the climbing to the exchange of the nuclear codes to the chase afterwards in the sandstorm.
Yeah.
With the cars, with the girls fighting in there. But Ethan in the chase tracking guy through a sandstorm, them having to like put shit on to avoid. It's so cool. It's so dynamic. It's everything like that you want in a spy flick. It's got the spy stuff. It's got action. Really great action. Really tense music throughout.
Giacchino,
so fucking good.
Michael Giacchino.
Giacchino blew my mind, and that track, Going for a Run. Such a good fucking track.
Oh, is this another one where he does all his pun titles?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I went back to.
I'm asking that question.
I went back to hear that one because that one stuck out to me so much. I'm like, I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah. Giacchino's a fucking genius. I don't know what to say.
Yeah, I really like the movie. I love it.
It's a great fucking movie. It's hard to hit this level of peak again with this series.
It took a while.
Yeah, it took a while. It took a couple movies, but God, no, this movie's great. We didn't even mention the final act. That sequence in the fight. The rest of the final act is kind of meh in comparison to what has been seen before it in the movie. I don't think it's bad. It's just not the Burj Khalifa sequence.
I don't like the part with the Indian guy and Paul.
Yeah.
Paul. Yeah.
But that action sequence in the parking garage is like holy shit.
The self-moving parking garage.
Yeah.
The fuck.
It's fantastic. Yeah, I think we kind of covered all the bases here because there's just really not that much to.
So it's another one of those cases where everyone does their part.
Yeah,
does it very well. They all play important roles, do different things, and they're important for the movie throughout. So.
I mentioned, I kind of teased it earlier, but this movie has my favorite joke in the entire series. It's after Ethan.
Let me guess.
Oh, go ahead.
Your line's not long enough.
No.
No shit. And then Benji. Oh, that was hard to do, right?
Yeah, it's the Ethan gets his fucking head clonked. They grab him out of the window and then they pull him in, and fucking Benji going, "Whew, that was a close one. Didn't think we could do that one." And then he just looks over at Ethan Brandt and Paula Patton's character on the ground. It's like, what happened? what happened to you guys?
Why is he Australian?
I don't know.
Oh, that was a close one. Oh.
That was a bloody close one, mate. I started doing Billy Butcher.
They start doing Billy Butcher a little bit.
Yeah.
Hell, cunts. Oi, Homelander.
Oi, Ethan. What you doing over there, you bloody cunt? You put your head, grab your bollocks, pull them back in the pants, and get in the fuck on with it.
Ethan, the bloody nuke has gone fucking off.
Womp womp. I love Carl Urban. I love Carl Urban. You know, we already mentioned this movie fucking rocks.
Oliver should have been Benji in these movies. What the fuck?
No, I love Simon Pegg as Benji. What?
No, we literally just figured out a better way to do it, bro. Come on. You wouldn't want to hear Carl Urban be like,
if I want that, I'm gonna go watch the Star Trek movies where he's Bones.
I forgot he was a Star Trek.
Yeah, I mean...
But he speaks in an American accent, so is it really that good?
Ah, boy. Yeah, I think we kind of cover all our bases with Ghost Protocol. It's pretty great.
Pretty great. I love it. It's great.
I'd give
it
a
9. 9. Yeah, I'm giving it a 9 also. Shit.
Yeah, it's pretty great, isn't it?
Yeah, pretty great, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's fucking brilliant.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I guess with that we can move on from Ghost Protocol to...
It's the best one, because why? Because it has Ilsa Faust.
Mission Impossible Rogue Nation, released in 2015, written and directed by Christopher McQuarrie. Stars Tom Cruise, of course, Ethan Hunt, Jeremy Renner, Simon Pegg, Ving Rhames, Sean Harris, Tom Hollander, Alec Baldwin, and God's Gift to Humanity, Rebecca Ferguson as Ilsa Faust.
Oh yeah, by the way, Luther was in the last one.
Luther was in the last movie at the very end.
You could say he was, I guess.
Score for this one was done by Joe Kramer, and it's worth noting because this is my second least favorite score in the entire series.
Yeah.
Oh, haircut ranking for Ethan Hunt from 3, 4, 5.
Oh, okay, 3. It's gonna go right above the first one.
Mm-hmm.
So that's like, where did I put the first one? I put it at 6 or something.
You put it at 5.
Put it at 5.
Yeah. So then I would
okay,
go
never
4.
mind.
I was gonna say you can rethink.
Then
let's rethink this now.
Yeah,
okay, let's rethink this. All right, so
everything.
1 for me is like a I'm gonna say it's a 7. 7 out of 8.
7.
Yep. And then 2's at like number 3 for me.
Number 3.
Yep. 4 is probably, Mission Impossible 3. That's a 6. Mission Impossible.
6.
Mission Impossible Ghost Protocol. That's a 4. And then Rogue Nation for me would probably be 5.
5.
So I think I'm just missing 1, 2, and 8. That's where I'm missing.
I'll go with that.
Yeah.
It's a pretty. Yeah, I'll go with that before I think about it again.
Because I know what the best one is, and I know what the worst one is. Yeah.
Priorities, you know.
Yep. Yeah, no, Rogue Nation is pretty good.
Pretty good.
It is not as good as Ghost Protocol, and I think we have a similar situation with Christopher McQuarrie on this film as J.J. Abrams on Mission Impossible 3, except this wasn't Christopher McQuarrie's first movie that he directed. He did Jack Reacher with Tom Cruise just a couple years before this.
Was that his first movie he directed?
No, it was not. He directed a movie in 2000 called Way of the Gun. But it was Jack Reacher was his second movie that he directed. He only did.
That's a long fucking time to not direct a movie.
He was considering quitting before he did Jack Reacher, and then Tom Cruise brought him in to do rewrites, uncredited rewrites on Ghost Protocol, and then after that, Tom Cruise fell in love with the man and was like, no, you're mine. He's like, you saved my career. I'm gonna make you have a bigger career than you'd ever expect.
Oh yeah, shit. We kind of forgot to mention Ghost Protocol saved Mission Impossible.
It did. It made a pretty good amount of money, and it was universally acclaimed. And it single-handedly saved that franchise. And probably Tom Cruise's career.
Probably.
And I think since then, Tom Cruise has just felt probably indebted to Christopher McQuarrie. He's like, you're coming with me wherever I go. Because I think Christopher McQuarrie has written every Tom Cruise movie since. Or done... yeah. He co-wrote Edge of Tomorrow, I think. Yeah. He co-wrote Edge of Tomorrow, Jack Reacher, Valkyrie, The Mummy, Top Gun Maverick, and the Mission Impossible movies that he did.
Did he rewrite American Made?
He did not. Okay, so he didn't do that. But that one I think was Doug Liman. But
so he's had a pattern Cruise throughout, huh?
Yeah.
Either Doug or McQuarrie.
Yeah. But yeah, I think what I was trying to say was that this movie does feel like it's McQuarrie holding back in a sense that I don't think while he had handled a movie that was not this big, but he's handled, moderately big movies. He handles this with a lot of class, despite the fact that I think he becomes more ambitious later with how he directs these movies afterwards. This is very much This is a proto Fallout.
Yeah, you're right.
It's a proto Fallout, and that being said, it's still a very good movie. Like, it is still a very solid movie. I think this is not the most this is not the most spy movie of any of the Mission Impossible movies. That's Ghost Protocol, but yeah, Rogue Nation is just another. Mm-hmm.
I think for trying to maintain a formula that was set up in Ghost Protocol, it does pretty well maintaining it and embracing it and doing more with it.
It is definitively it's like the second most spy movie of any of these movies, because we are legitimately dealing with spies.
For sure,
like actual spies. But really, all I want to talk about this movie is just Ilsa Faust. The best thing about this movie, and the singular best addition to any franchise ever. It's incredible how good Ilsa was as an addition to this series. She's such a perfect complement to the team and to Ethan, and she's such a great character. She's so fun. Rebecca Ferguson is amazing.
Can you say that without? Can you say that without coming?
No.
Nah. Rebecca Ferguson is amazing.
Yeah, otherwise, this movie it's good. Yeah, the plot's fine.
Yeah, it's good.
It's a good movie. It works. It's a solid movie.
It's got fun action. It's got perhaps one of the more unique final set pieces for Mission Impossible franchise.
Yeah,
Impossible movie. It's not a crazy action spectacle.
It's actually very small.
Thing. It's very small. It's a foot chase, basically.
Yeah, it's a foot chase with a couple of fights and a couple of shootouts, but that's it.
Skirmishes, you could say.
It's very much a cat and mouse chase.
Yeah, and it's fun.
That's great. Yeah, it's my favorite part of the movie.
So the final act is the favorite.
Yeah,
basically. Oh man, that's a trend we'll keep up for one more movie.
Yeah, I mean, I think Rogue Nation is good. I don't really know what to say. It's it's just good. Like, the action is pretty good. I think that this is maybe not. This might be the funniest Mission Impossible movie. Might be the funniest.
Might be it.
Because this movie's really funny. I think that's where Christopher McQuarrie really stands out in terms of his writings. Number one, he figured out Ethan as a character. He solved that character.
He's close. He's close to getting it right.
Yeah, this is the movie where he gets the closest to like, oh, there he is. There's Ethan Hunt.
Just one more movie.
Just one more movie. But yeah, I think this is where he figured out the perfect balance of tone, and this movie is fucking hilarious when it needs to be.
Yeah.
Like, because basically my mind just goes to that middle section of the movie right after Ethan has to get fucking revived from the dead for the second time.
Yeah. What's up with that? Come on, Ethan.
No, I don't know. Ethan keeps dying.
He's died 3 times. He's died 3 times now.
That's true. Well, no, he didn't die. He didn't die. That third time doesn't count. He was unconscious. He didn't die.
Well, wasn't he literally being like CPR'd?
Yeah, but he didn't die.
He did. Well, he wasn't breathing.
No, he was unconscious, but he wasn't dead.
Well,
he wasn't.
You gotta get
clinically dead.
You don't gotta get CPR'd if you're unconscious. Right?
If you're not breathing, yeah.
Well, you're dead, right?
No, you're not dead if you're not breathing.
All right.
Because I can just stop breathing right now. That doesn't mean I'm dead.
Okay, well, under the motion of you being with your eyes closed on moving and on breathing, well, you have to have your heart basically jump started by a CPR. Are you dead?
Well, he was dead in that moment, but in Rogue Nation, I'm assuming you're talking about. Are you talking about Final Reckoning? Because in Final Reckoning, yeah, that one was like decompression. Like he was, because of the way his
but like before that, he did have to get CPR'd.
Yeah, and then have to get decompressed for like a day.
Yeah, because otherwise he will die again.
Yeah, die again. Yeah.
Yeah, I think he died 3 times if you ask me. Versus likes dying.
Apparently. This does have third best car chase.
Hold on, I was just gonna say every time he gets revived, it's there's a beautiful brown-haired woman waiting for him on the other side.
Yeah, a beautiful brown-haired white woman waiting for him. Yeah.
Every time it's happened, he's just there waiting for him. They're waiting to snuggle him.
Ethan has a type.
Ethan has a type.
Ethan has a definitive type.
So should I die and then get revived and then Rebecca Ferguson will be right there?
No, you gotta be Ethan Hunt first. You have to be Tom Cruise first.
Can't be. I'm not 5'7". I'm sorry.
Yeah. I'm 5'6".
Close enough.
But
you were saying car chase.
Yeah, this is like the third best car chase in the entire series.
Oh, it's a fantastic car chase sequence. Holy shit!
It turned into a motorcycle chase.
The motorcycle. Oh my gosh! So it's got the second best motorcycle chase.
1 of 2.
Yeah. No, 1 of 3. 1 of 3. 2.
Anyway. You were correct.
Yeah. I remember these movies. I'm a fan, you see.
Yeah. I tend to forget too. Sorry.
How dare you?
What do you mean, how dare I? Have
Dude,
you seen
I quoted it all the.
Yeah, I know.
I quote it all the time.
Fucking. Alec Baldwin was a lot of fun in this movie.
Yeah, he's a really good.
He's a pretty good Kittredge supplant. Where the fuck was Kittredge the whole time?
I don't fuck.
He's basically just Kittredge, but
he's basically Kittredge, but he doesn't know him, so he's not Kittredge.
Yeah.
Because if it was Kittredge, he would be like Brandt like.
Yeah.
Let him cook. But he's a neat obstacle, and again another one of those characters that like doesn't like trust the IMF or like doesn't like.
But he's actually integral to the plot.
Most. Yeah, that's like know most about them, and he's like he's curious, but he gets convinced and like, oh my god, the IMF is so amazing. I'm gonna be a part of them.
And on that note, we can start talking about Solomon Lane, who I have a mixed opinion on.
I really like Solomon Lane throughout both movies that he is present. I think he is. I think the idea of there being a anti-IMF is a super cool idea. Like terrorists that operate basically the same way as the IMF does, but like do the opposite and like fucking up the world while the IMF like goes on to fixing it. I think it's a really cool idea. I think Solomon Lane as a villain works very well for that, and then his motives are interesting with that. I think the fact that he is super proactive to the story and like involves himself in ways that makes the plan go along better works so well. I like that he's not just a villain on the sidelines having his henchmen do everything. He does stuff and is effective at that. If there are some things that I could like take away from it, is that he does sometimes fall into a team of another villain where it's like, I'm gonna kill my henchman because I'm a villain. I know it's annoying stuff that I kind of hate for everybody except Darth Vader, who
he just talks a lot.
Yeah, talks a lot. I really like his dynamic with Ilsa also. Like him, it's kind of like Jim in a way. It's like, yeah, I'm not stupid. I fucking know that you're like not working for me, but I see, in this case, I see potential in you because you've been betrayed by your government like I have. So hey, Ilsa, I hope you make the right fucking choice. If you don't, you saw me almost grab your face, I'll rip it off. But with that, he does have some undermining like henchmen, like lame henchmen. I don't know. These movies never had great henchmen. Other than Davian. Yeah, it didn't. The cycle did not continue in this one, with like how his henchmen do stuff. They're kind of like, they are an extension of him at least. And the Syndicate, like I said, is a cool little idea, and I think Solomon Lane is pretty neat with that. I think he's the second best villain throughout the franchise, and gets better in Fallout.
See, I only am okay with Solomon Lane in this movie. I think he works mostly well in this movie. I don't find him intimidating in the slightest. No. And I think that's just due to the actor. I just don't find that performance. I just don't find that performance intimidating. He's not bad in the movie. I wouldn't say that, but no, just was never that into that character.
He's really not intimidating, but I think his acts are intimidating. Like more so the fact that you can see how threatening he actually is, rather than just by him talking shit. He backs it up, and he's very much like reliant on his plans going well. And as you can see, he loses his shit when the plans don't go well. When they don't go his way. I think his reaction to Ethan basically stonewalling him into, I know I memorized the thing that you need. If you blow me up, you don't get it. And his reaction to that is great because it's like, this is going against me. I'm losing my mind. You see through his face. You see through his funny fucking face. He's gonna lose his shit. He's gonna pop a vein. And I think that culminates really well into the final act where he gets outsmarted by Ethan again. He's losing everything. Everything he worked for is gone, and he's crashing out.
Yeah,
it's slipping through his fingers.
Yeah, I like him.
I think it's really cool.
Fallout.
I think Fallout is just an extension of a guy who doesn't have much to lose, other than him wanting revenge against the guy who ruined everything for him. I think that's what Fallout does really well, rather than having him be more of a presence-filled villain. He is working back to do what he can because he wants Ethan to suffer the way that he made him suffer, because he again ruined his whole life, ruined everything in him, everything he believed in, his beliefs, everything. It's gone. The Syndicate gone, the money gone. Me, I'm in prison. So yeah, I think he's like the most complex villain throughout, which is why I like him a lot. He's someone who we see the consequences of like true failure, and someone who lives with those consequences as a villain, because these villains get killed off way too much. I think. They get blown up, or they get run over, or they fall to their death.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't really have much to say about I know this movie really, but also I just don't have much to say about Solomon Lane. I don't find him particularly compelling. I find the Syndicate compelling, as an idea, like you said, but I just don't really find Lane that interesting. At least not in, especially not in Fallout. But in this movie, he's definitely. I do think he's better because he's actually the primary antagonist. Whereas in Fallout, he's just the secondary villain, who's only tangentially related to the actual villain plot. He's just there because fuck Ethan Hunt in particular.
Yeah.
But,
it's got the best chemistry moments with Ethan and Benji.
Yeah, so, this movie is mostly just Ethan and Benji.
Yeah, it's the Ethan and Benji show, and they're really fun together.
Show, and it's great. Yeah.
Yeah.
Benji is fucking hilarious. He has my second favorite joke in the entire series. After fucking they crash the car, and Benji's already been passed out, but the car's already crashed, and then he wakes up and goes, "Ah, look out!"
Yeah, Luther's there too.
Luther is there.
Yeah.
Yeah. He does have another one of those great lines where Ilsa's like, "Run away with me," and he goes, "Oh shit."
Oh shit. I lost her. Yeah. Why did you leave me with her? Ethan, I'm big and fat. I can't run fast, man. What's wrong with you, brother?
I'm old, Ethan. I can't do this shit no more.
I'm old.
Stop asking me to come back.
Ethan, when have you ever seen me run, motherfucker? Never. Stop asking me.
I am the computer guy. I'm the man in the chair.
Yeah. Unfortunately, in this movie, it lowered Brandt's involvement in the movie, which is pretty unfortunate. Yeah,
it's very unfortunate.
I like this character a lot, and they never pushed much with him other than his belief in the IMF and Ethan in particular.
Yeah, him getting to work with Luther is pretty fun. And he has a couple of really good moments, but
I kind of feel more of that.
He's very underwritten in this movie,
for sure.
Yeah,
he does stuff at least, but it's not what you would expect.
Yeah. His best moment is when they crash the car into each other, and then they both just look at each other like, "Oh, hey," and then they move on. Like, yeah, but. This is kind of the most forgettable Mission Impossible movie.
It did kind of just come out, didn't it?
Yeah, and it's crazy because this is the one with Ilsa Faust in it.
It's forgettable in a way where it's it's the one like I said, it came out. I still remember it because I'm a mega fan, but
yeah,
it's just one of those oh.
It's like, that one did happen. Yes, that Mission Impossible movie did happen. Yeah.
I do like how this one structures its sequences a lot more. It really pans them out very well into being very different things.
Yeah.
You got the first big stunt in the movie with the plane,
which was the big stunt.
Yeah, that was the big stunt, and it doesn't rely on that after that. It's
no,
we got more stuff to do.
That is just the cold open.
Yeah, we got more stuff to do, guys, and then you get to the sequence in France, I believe, with the plague. Was that England?
I think it was.
No, wait, England was afterwards. So I
think it was
Paris,
London.
Right? No, because they go to London afterwards.
Oh, you're right. You're right.
I think it was some place where they speak a not English language. I think it was Germany. It was Germany. I think it was Germany. Yeah. Then there's Germany sequence where they're at the opera. And they're trying to assassinate the chancellor, I believe it is, someone in there, someone important, and then you cut back to multiple assassins, Ilsa Faust being one of them, and then it's a cool fight sequence. Yeah, it's all that, and then afterwards you go to the water sequence where Ethan's trying to break into the vault to have Benji sneak in with the code file, and it's a super cool sequence with like no music whatsoever.
Yeah.
In the water parts, and he's like holding his breath, and it's so fucking cool.
Yeah.
And then after that, you go to the fucking chase,
which is the best part of the movie.
It's amazing.
Actually, no, it's not the best part of the movie, but it's the second best part of the movie.
It's the second best part of the movie. It's like the second best action part of the movie, I'd say. And that's amazing because it like goes from a car chase sequence where he's fucking crashing, and mind you, Ethan. The interesting part about it is that Ethan is like half dead at that point because he like got he got revived, so he's like not functioning as well as you think he would be. So the car is. He's driving the car all fucked up. Well, like it's really fun. It's really great. And then you get to the bike sequence, which is like, holy shit! It's so high speed, cheese, so dangerous, and it's like, what the fuck? It's super tense. And then afterwards, like you said, we get to the final act, which starts from him infiltrating the building where the prime minister is in. He's disguised as the the MI6 director, and it's like, oh my god, what a twist! And everything's revealed, and then you get to the final sequence with the skirmish and everything, where they're chasing Hunt.
Yeah.
And before that, it's a super cool sequence where Benji's got a bomb strapped to him, so it's like, oh shit, what's gonna happen? And you get the movie, and like I said. The part where Solomon gets outsmarted because Ethan lays out a trap for him. He traps him. He's got him.
Yeah, the same trap he got him in the first movie, and the start of the movie.
Ah, look at that payoff.
Yeah.
So yeah, like the action and sequences are really well laid out in the movie, to like being so different from each other, but they're all still so good.
Yeah.
This thing that will continue afterwards.
Yeah. Yeah, no, this is your Mission Impossible 3.
Basically. Yeah. I super enjoy Rogue Nation.
Yeah, no, I quite enjoy Rogue Nation. It's a good movie, but I'm just not as enthused about it.
Crazy over it.
Yeah. I am crazy about the next movie, though. What would you give Rogue Nation?
I give it like an 8 also.
I give it an 8.
An 8. Yeah.
I give it an 8. Like, it's good. It's pretty good. Like,
it's pretty good.
Yeah.
Kind of not talked about enough, I think.
No.
Compared to the other ones.
No, because like everyone's talking about like Ghost Protocol and Fallout and Dead Reckoning and the first one, but yeah, not as much you hear about Rogue Nation.
Yeah, hopefully they should just come out.
Yeah. All right. From there, Fallout.
No. Oh my god.
We peaked. This is the best it gets.
So it's all right. It doesn't get anyone from here. All movies after this are good.
This is I think it's pretty safe to say this is not only one of my favorite movies of all time. I think it's the best Mission Impossible movie. It's one of the best action movies ever made. It's one of the 2 best action movies of the last decade.
And this decade. Yeah.
And Fallout is near perfect. It's near perfect.
I adore this movie.
I love it so much.
I've adored it ever since I've seen it in theaters, where my ass was at the edge of the seat, clenching.
I was literally, we've talked about this. Like, we're both like just. We saw this. We didn't see this together, but like I remember literally grabbing my chair and like leaning in, and like,
ass clenched, anus clenched, the dick clenched, legs clenched, toes curling, hands tightening the seats.
Okay, bro. This ain't Eyes Wide Shut.
Eyes wide.
This ain't 50 Shades.
Fucking eyes wide, tongue curled, everything like. Breathing heavily, like, what the fuck? I've never felt so tense in a theater for so long until Top Gun Maverick came out. This movie is such a great theater experience. It's such a great home experience. It is an experience so unmatchable by so many movies that come out this like deep, around this age and time.
Yeah, there weren't many movies like this even when it came out.
No, there were not. This is like top tier action. This is one of the best action movies I've seen since Terminator 2. You know?
It changed this franchise's trajectory entirely. This is
statement, man. This is where they figured it out. They had everything, got it right.
And it's not even that like it does what it does like better than any movie that like takes more time in this stuff. It does it at the highest level possible and the most entertaining level possible. Like every action sequence in this movie just gets better and better and better as it goes on. It just continues to escalate. On top of that, this is where they figured out Ethan's character. This is where they figured out
him so well.
They figured him out so well, and the plot is perfectly laid out to challenge his character in each way, but also reinforce it. Exactly who this motherfucker is. And
they establish it immediately.
Yeah, immediately. By having him make a choice to save someone else, even when it puts everyone else in the world at risk. And then you have it reinforced immediately by Alec Baldwin's character going, there is some character flaw in you that refuses to let you choose between saving one life or saving millions.
Some see that as a weakness. I see that as your biggest strength.
Yep. That is Ethan Hunt's character exactly. And after this, McQuarrie kept that consistent throughout the rest of the franchise. For the next two entries that he did. This was the second film that he wrote and directed. Pretty much the entire cast of Rogue Nation returns with a couple new notable additions.
And no Jeremy Renner.
No Jeremy Renner.
Cry.
Yeah. One being Angela Bassett as CIA Director Erica Sloan, Vanessa Kirby as the White Widow, the daughter of Max from the first film, and Wes Bentley shows up.
Yeah.
Oh, and the best Henry Cavill has ever been in anything ever. As one August Walker.
And he's coincidentally also the best villain of this franchise.
He's the best villain in the entire franchise.
He's so fucking good. He works so well as a twist
He's
villain.
a great twist villain. Works entirely in. What's even crazier is that he works, because oftentimes with twist villains they work because they're twists, or because like the fact that there is a twist. Walker works not only because he's a twist, but because the movie's technically never hiding to you that he's a twist villain.
No, like he's already an antagonist to Ethan.
But like right out the gate,
immediately.
he's an antagonist, but he's basically the villain of the movie out of the gate.
Yeah.
Like everything he's doing is actually surprisingly transparent. It's just you don't know it yet.
No. And you like him.
And you enjoy him. You enjoy him in part due to Henry Cavill actually being good for once. But like no, this is the character solidly written.
Like he's got a pretty cool dynamic with Ethan, like as like begrudging allies.
Yeah, but he's the guy from another agency. Goes, really? Like this is what you fuckers do.
This is what you guys do. So you guys fall for this shit.
Yeah, that one line, people actually fall for this shit.
Fall for this shit
is like, it's you get the character immediately, but also there you go. There's his folly right there.
I think something to worth mentioning is the very opening of the movie.
Yeah.
That also like really like understands Ethan's character throughout, like even like through the Mission Impossible history with his wife.
Yeah.
I can't remember the exact quote, but like, are you ready to make this commitment that puts her life in danger, to hiding, to erase what she once was, a life?
Oh yeah. Erase her identity, force her into hiding. Yeah,
it's such a good like breakdown of Ethan.
Yeah. That's all of Ethan's guilt. Yeah,
And I think it's great that Solomon Lane's doing it because he hates Ethan.
Yeah.
So one up for that, I think.
But
yeah, it's just like everything's going so for this movie. It's not just the Ethan show either. Everyone else gets their piece.
The team works.
The team works. So you still got Ilsa,
mm-hmm.
who's dealing with the consequences of Rogue Nation. She's not cleared yet because
somehow
she's. I think it checks out. I think the somehow goes with that reckoning. Mm. But in this case, it's like you've been with Solomon for so long that we really have to question if you're still loyal to us. Kill him, get rid of him, and then we will see.
Yeah.
Not in the clear yet, which she gives her a lot of weight in the movie, and her involvement isn't just like random. She's there for a reason. Yeah. And you wonder what that is for until you really find out what it is for, and then you sympathize with her. It's like, oh, you feel bad for her. Like, damn, that's not fair.
Yeah.
And Benji still being the comedy of the movie. He's still the comic relief, which is fun. For like his involvement is really heavy in this movie too. And Luther gets the best he's ever gotten.
Yeah,
because he of the guilt he feels to having made Ethan make that decision that he didn't want him to do. Yeah. It goes with him throughout the whole movie, and afterwards, the conversation that he has with Ilsa really enforces why he admires Ethan, why Ethan's a good man to him, and he says that to Ilsa as to why Ethan is the way he is.
Yeah,
I think it works really well. It's really great. Everyone gets something. Alec Baldwin gets something too.
Yeah. Even for the short time he's there, he gets a fun little bit.
He's really great. I think he might have been the best IMF like leader that we got.
Yeah.
For as short as he was in it, still.
The third act is pitch perfect. I wouldn't change a thing about it.
Not a thing.
Like the way like the bombs are set up, the splitting of the party essentially, and the fact that Julia is there allows her to actually take part in a little bit of the final act, despite her being a very last minute just like throw in character.
It also feels like Julia's best presence in the movie too. She does her best stuff in that movie also. Yeah. Ain't that something, huh?
Yeah. Not that she didn't do anything cool in 3. Like she was pretty important to that final sequence.
No, but I feel like her character that was definitely like more realized in here also. Like it's cool seeing her afterwards, after everything she's been through, and how confident she is in herself.
And her life's better.
Her life is better because of like Ethan's influence on her.
Like what is it she tells Ethan? Nothing happened because he was
here. Yeah.
Because Ethan's like, oh, like this should have never happened, and she's like, nothing happened.
Nothing happened for her. I've realized what kind of person I am. It's really good stuff. It's like, that's the last you see of her. That feels like a really good send off to her character.
Yeah, you don't need to see any more of her. Yeah.
No, and it feels like a really like close chapter for Ethan if you've been watching for so long.
Yeah, it feels rewarding to have watched 3 and 4 to get to Fallout. 3, 4, 5, and 6 all feel very rewarding to watch if you watch them in succession. Because they're actually sequels to each other.
Yeah.
Yeah, that final act is incredible. The action is holy shit. The best car chase in the entire series. Maybe one of the best car chases ever. That also turns into a bike chase.
A bike chase, oh my god.
Yep. And it tops itself as it keeps going. The major stunts are huge, like that fucking the base, or not the base. Is it a base jump or is it a
halo jump?
It's a halo jump, yeah. Yeah, halo jump out of the plane. The helicopter chase.
Oh,
at the end, at the end in Kashmir, it's. Also, that's where I mentioned the intensity when we were talking about Mission Lesson 1. This is like my most intense sequence is when Benji is fighting Lane in the cabin with Ilsa.
Benji, stop, it's a trap, stop.
Yeah, Benji, stop. And she peaks the fucking sound.
Because she's screaming so fucking
She
loud.
screamed so loud. Ugh. That scream fucking terrifies me.
Oh, yeah, it's one of those words like, is Benji gonna fucking die?
Yeah. This is the one movie where it feels like there's actual danger in whether or not the characters could die.
Shit, he gonna die. Damn.
Yeah. It's funny.
Die.
No one dies in this movie. Someone dies in Dead Reckoning, and like the stakes are felt way more in Fallout than they were in Dead Reckoning.
Yeah.
Which is crazy because someone.
Reckoning also.
That's true. That's true.
Fucking hell.
Yeah, man. This movie is absolutely fucking incredible. I think it's pretty clear that we adore this damn movie. I do have quibbles with it. I have quibbles. Not to open this can of worms again, but because we had a very heavy disagreement on this the first time we talked about it. I have a personal quibble with the movie's intro. I think it very much relies on the idea of Benji just forgetting that he has a long-range rifle and runs away from the plutonium, which gives the apostles just enough time to fucking Scooby-Doo it in there and just, or Batman in there and get the plutonium and run. And I think that for a moment where like where you're having Ethan go like, "Hey, watch the plutonium," and Benji just running in after Ethan grabs Luther, and giving covering fire, but running away towards the action instead of staying where he was, with a long range rifle. It was very weird to me when I was watching it that other time, for the first time that I clocked this. When I saw that, I was like, "Oh, that's a bit contrived just to get the plot moving." And
I think that if you're trying to push enemies off you, you would like run forward so you can check on your friend as he is down on the ground.
But he wasn't doing that. He was covering fire.
He was guarding her, but he was also going into Luther the same way Ethan was. And like I said, I think it's better to push forward to push them back. It's pretty good tactic if you're gonna
But he had a long range rifle. He could have done that from
distance. So did the enemy. But if someone's pushing, and it's like, oh shit, he's got a rifle. We're like literally outgunned. We gotta go. Especially if they're.
But there was two guys shooting at Benji. At least 2 guys.
I don't know how many there were, but with that, it's still like, I think that if you see a guy coming at you with a rifle, it's like, oh shit, it's a good tactic. I think something Benji would know to do if he's trying to like drive people back or make them retreat. And then again, it was purposeful by the bad guys also. As we know, like when they said we should be dead, why aren't we?
I just feel like there could have been another way to get the ball rolling on the plot there without having to rely on an extremely fabricated.
So also, thinking about it, if Ethan is down checking on Luther while they're firing at him, it probably is better to have like Benji run at them to make sure he can maintain covering fire while they back away.
I'm not buying it.
That is fair.
But, I mean, that's like one of like a couple quibbles of the movie. I think another one I've already mentioned. I just don't really care for Solomon Lane in this movie at all. Outside of his little action bit at the end of the movie, I just do not really care for his inclusion. Necessary to the plot and what kind of story they were telling with Ethan, but yeah, just don't really care for it at all.
I think he's really great. I think he did a really good job maintaining an antagonist from the last movie and like dealing with the consequences of that, and it having come back to bite Ethan in the face, and having Walker be an extension of that and Solomon's prior goals. I think it works very well.
I am much more of a fan of Walker's character in his antagonistic.
I also
in his antagonistic force, but villainous, antagonistic, and intimidating force.
I'm also a fan of Walker in that case, but I think they work very well together as like foils to Ethan.
I just think Walker does what Ethan does more effectively for the movie. What he provides to the actual presence of the film is, I think he's much stronger in that way than Lane is.
I mean, he definitely is just more involved, of course.
He leaves much more of an impact than Lane does.
I mean, interesting, because a lot of the events in the movie are like planned out by Lane and Walker.
Yeah, so Walker. This is mostly Walker's plan. Just the Ethan part of it is all Lane.
Is it? Well, because it's like Walker gets the plutonium because of Solomon.
Well, no, I thought there was the Apostles, because the Apostles are not a splinter, or not Lanes.
The Apostles are the extension of the Syndicate. That's what it said. Rising from the ashes came the Apostles, who were basically the extensions of the Apostles of the Syndicate. Yeah, the Syndicate. The Apostles are Syndicate 2.0.
Yeah, and guess what? They want another nuclear fallout.
Yeah, but this one makes more sense. This one's stupid. Of course, it's definitely one of those points where, like, you as a person, knowing that in the movie will be like questioning it, like this isn't, of course. But I think it's more reasonable that way rather than just destroy the whole world and they'll come back better. This is just one need to make the reunion of people through greater suffering. Greater suffering, greater peace. Which is it's not a as you would call a far-fetched idea. This has happened in the past. It's just it's terrible. You're killing people. What's wrong with you? That bathroom fight too.
God, that bathroom fight.
That bathroom fight. Oh my god.
Yeah. I don't know. Part of what, basically the reason why I adore this movie as much as I do is the action, number one, but also just Ethan Hunt's character.
Yeah.
I think that's the driving force of the movie.
And he became top 5 action heroes after this.
It makes it insane to realize that they basically came up with the plot of this movie on the fly. And
that is so crazy.
Yeah, it's insane how McQuarrie and Cruise made the Mission Impossible movies that they did. Like, how do you make a movie like that?
How do you make a movie like that? And
how do you make a movie like that without a finished script and just a couple general ideas of what you want some stunts to be, and then you make a movie around that? How did they get lucky? How did they get lucky 3 times on that?
3 times?
Dead Reckoning, despite itself, kind of walks away a little surprisingly whole.
Yeah. I was gonna say, like, working as well as this, I wouldn't say 3 times.
No.
But working, you do get movies that don't, how would you say, aren't a mess in the ways that, like, you feel like they're stitched together and shit like that. Yeah. Like a Captain America Brave New World. Not like that.
No.
You get a good, well-made movie with
it's a well-made movie.
Like that.
How do you make a movie like that, though? Like, it's,
I don't know.
How do you do that?
And stop doing it.
Yes, how and stop. And honestly, if I was on the set of Fallout, I'd be like, why are you making the movie like this? Like,
for sure.
Like, the final product's probably going to be great, but like, why would you make the movie like this?
I mean, Fallout is simple as this. Fallout is lightning in the bottle.
Yeah. Well, not really, because they made Rogue Nation like that too. So So it's like,
okay, well, Fallout is
lightning struck twice randomly.
Lightning struck twice in the bow. It's the perfect lightning. It's just, I mean, it's just so head above the other ones.
Yeah.
It's so, like, how?
Yeah, it came out and it's like, oh, this is what an action movie can be.
Yeah. Because in the day of like action movies coming out these days, it's like they're either okay written, but the action's really great, or the action sucks and the writing isn't that good.
Yeah.
Or they have to be like so gimmicky with like their comedy and the insane moments.
I wonder if there's an action movie where the action's kind of meh, but the rest of it's pretty good.
Huh?
Is there any like that?
Let me think. It's gotta be one up there, right?
Yeah, right?
Born trilogy?
Yeah.
Born trilogy. I like the action there. It's just it's obviously shaky. People heard about it. It's just like, oh, what's going on?
It works for the Bourne identity, and that's it.
Yeah.
Despite how good Supremacy and Ultim Rainham are, like it's the action.
Yeah, action. It's fucking shaky ass.
Oh, The Dark Knight.
The Dark Knight. True. Yeah.
The Dark Knight. Batman Begins.
Yeah, action sucks in those movies.
It really does. It's so bad.
I think the only good thing is the car chases.
Yeah, because Nolan knows how to do that.
Yeah. God,
he actually does some pretty good car chases and some decent action in Tenet.
Yeah, there's some like cool car. Well, I was gonna talk about Dark Knight. I didn't see Tenet, but I reckon there is. Yeah.
No, Tenet has a great car chase in like the middle act of the movie. Actually, it has a couple of pretty good car chases. It has a normal car chase, and then they do a inverted car chase.
Oh yeah.
With like the car going back, and it's like yee. It's like, whoa, we're doing interesting shit here, some fucky shit. But
yeah, but the car sequences are pretty insane in the Dark Knight. The fucking cars going. To
back to Fallout. Yeah, this movie's fucking great in it.
It's fucking great. One of the best ever made.
It's such a good movie. God. I'm at a 9.5 to be honest with you. It's so good.
My heart's telling me 10, but my body's telling me 9.5. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Also 9.5.
Yeah.
So, but a 10 in my heart.
10 in my heart. 9.5 in my mind.
Yeah. Super brain.
Ugh.
Stop thinking.
Yeah. All right. From
Fallout. Yeah. Why would you put a man you capture in the front seat?
Yeah, that's dumb.
That's
dumb. That's dumb.
It's dumb. I don't get it.
All right. From there, we're gonna go on to Dead Reckoning. This is interesting. This is the first time
for you
that we've covered a movie more than once.
It's true. Shit.
Because we covered this 2 years ago. I covered it in a what I watched video, and then you covered it when we did the endpoint for 2023. Yeah. So this is now the second time we're covering this movie. It's a weird one because your opinions really haven't changed on it since then. Mine have.
You've seen my out of theater reaction when I came out of it. I was like, this is so fucking good. Oh my god. But I think it was like what, a day passed and like, you know what?
I think it was literally like a day, if not like an hour. Like it was not very long.
I was admitted like super like hyped over it, like because I wanted it to be as good as Fallout. My mind said it's as good as Fallout. It was as good as Fallout. It's gonna be as good as Fallout. And I really came out of it super hyped because action shit was really good. I really was going off like the Fallout love with this movie, and I came out of it similar to you, loving it. And then it struck. Something struck. And I'm like, you know what? Wait a minute. Yeah, but I kept it close to my chest for a long time with you.
Yeah.
Yeah, until we saw it again. Then I was honest.
Well, you were honest.
Not like I was lying or anything.
You were honest about it.
Yeah, it was not like I was lying. I was just very
before we saw it again.
Yeah, and not like I was dishonest. It was more like I was just
unsure,
very held back. I wasn't sure, held back. You know, I did need that second experience to really like understand why I felt this way, and it felt further backed up by watching it again, especially after Final Reckoning.
Yeah.
But you go ahead and tell me your experience first, because you got the most interesting experience with the movie.
So I saw it when I saw it with you the first time. Yeah, it was very high on it, even despite our absolutely god awful, terrible, shitty theater experience watching this movie.
God, what the fuck was that?
To be quick on it, if you've ever seen what paper 3D glasses look like through those, that's basically what the movie looked like for the last like 45 minutes, and it was rough.
It was rough.
It was rough, but we were so far gone by that point. We're like, we're not getting up to go ask them to fucking fix the projection. Like, it's just like the movie's almost over. Let's just suck it, tough it up,
Deal with it.
But my experience with the movie, yeah, was absurdly high when I first saw it, and then I saw it again not too long after, and I was still very, very high on it. I had a lot more problems with it the second time than I did the first. A lot more problems. My problems were sporadic across the film.
Oh, yeah.
But I remember, because the problems I have with it now are the exact same ones I had when I last saw it 2 years ago. So it's a weird one. But yet I was still super high on it then because of the action, because of the spectacle, because of the score. And like just some of those is like it's super like high moments that I'm like, this is what this cinema, the Scorsese, but just cinema.
Scorsese. I prefer Kojima on it now.
Kojima.
Kojima. Kojima is cinema.
Yeah, but yeah, it's funny. It's weird because when we watch it again, this is interesting because we watched this after we saw Final Reckoning. And
yeah.
At first, when we walked out of Final Reckoning, and you were like, Dead Reckoning's better, my brain went, what? Because in my head, Dead Reckoning didn't suffer some of the stuff. Dead Reckoning and Final Reckoning have very different problems. Very different problems. I don't know how to describe this because it's so weird. I don't know why I walked out of Final Reckoning going, what do you mean it's better? It's Dead Reckoning's better. Obviously, Final Reckoning is better.
Oh, yeah, I was confused. I said Dead Reckoning was better, right? Yeah. That's what
I said. Because I don't know why I thought that. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't know where it came from.
Was shocking to me because I remember you being really high at it at that point. So I'm like, what?
Yeah. Because I did question you on that. I was like, "What do you mean?" But I think with this second watch, or not second watch, that's like third or fourth watch on Dead Reckoning, pretty much settled in that like no, my flaws with the movie are enough to really take it down a lot than where I felt initially. But even then, like, yeah, the things I still really like about it are still great. Like, the action is fantastic. The score is incredible. There are moments in this movie that are pretty engaging. I think that first act, especially with like the stuff in the airport, with like introduction of the Grace character, and Grace I think is a good addition to this franchise.
Yeah,
I like Grace fine.
Her last name?
Yeah, she doesn't have a last name.
They said I thought her name was Grace Fine. That's her last name. But she's
like, no.
I mean, she sure is fine. She sure is fine.
Ethan has a type.
I have a type.
But
Big booby.
yeah, this is because the problems really just come down to the entity. The entity is such a nebulous villain.
What a fucking mistake.
It's very weak. I get what Cruz and McQuarrie are trying to say.
But
and I agree with what they're saying.
Here's the thing: it's the perspective of two old men who don't know shit about technology. I think.
Well, but they're either making an anti-AI statement, is what it is. Both of these movies are about the rejection of AI in cinema, and the embracing of like the olden days of filmmaking. Like that's what these movies are about, essentially. But they're telling them through the gaze of Mission Impossible. So
that's weird.
In the same way that like Top Gun Maverick is like a movie about like the end of the movie star. That's kind of what the old guard and moving and like that stuff. But Dead Reckoning and Final Reckoning are kind of just a warning. they are just a warning of how AI can destroy the film industry.
You know what did that also? Skynet.
Skynet is a direct doomsday warning about the world, though.
Well, that's kind of what happens in Final Reckoning, isn't it?
Yeah. Blow up the Dead Reckoning is just a weird movie with a lot of problems, but still enjoyable at the end of the day.
Because of the action.
Because it's a Mission Impossible movie. I think Dead Reckoning has... Dead Reckoning has strengths that Final Reckoning weirdly lacks. Like, what? The tone in Dead Reckoning, I think, is solid. Like, it has, again, that good balance of comedy and genuine intensity and taking it serious. Whereas, when we talk about Final Reckoning, we'll talk about it, but, like, Final Reckoning's tone is a somber, dour, depressing-ass movie with very little levity. Dead Reckoning is a movie, I guess. I don't know what to say about this movie. Like, I still like it quite a bit, but there's just so much about it that's kind of frustrating.
It's very frustrating, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, number one with a bullet for both of us is Ilsa Faust.
Ilsa Faust, what the fuck?
Yeah. Yeah, Ilsa's death is...
her death, her involvement in the movie, her absence from the movie.
Yep.
Everything.
It's an insane blunder.
Such a blunder, so shit. Throwing away everything that Fallout did, that Rogue Nation did. And then they kill her in a dumb way by a dumb villain to replace her afterwards.
Yeah.
And then we don't give a shit about her in Final Reckoning because we got the replacement, we got the new girl.
All because Rebecca Ferguson really wanted to do Dune in Silo.
And that's where I say fuck Dune and maybe fuck Silo. I don't know, I haven't seen it. Maybe Silo's really good for all I know.
I've heard Silo's actually pretty great.
Yeah, I hear it, but you know what? It made me get rid of Ilsa Faust, so fuck it also.
It's just... Yeah. Gabriel's such a lame-ass villain.
Yeah, and he didn't get better, I tell you what.
No, sure didn't.
Got worse, in fact. Would you believe it?
Somebody's got a laundry list of things about it.
Laundry list. Yeah. Never ending. Oh, hi, Kittredge. How you been?
Yeah. Kittredge is back. No idea what he's been doing.
Kittredge is back. Basically the Russian people who hunt down Ethan. Not them specifically, but like those that archetype, they're back. They do shit. And they don't fucking do shit. And it's personal, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
You never guess what it is. Trust me, you won't.
Trust me, you'll actually never guess.
You'll actually never guess. Ethan stops. Ethan's not bad in the movie, you know, but
No.
it really feels like they got it and then they stopped trying with him.
Yeah, because they figured him out.
They figured him out, but like, and then they said there was nowhere else for him to go afterwards. Yeah. It's just not like
you already figured him out. You got the character now. Now you just gotta keep doing that guy.
Doing that, but like, what you do that guy, but at the same time, you don't do anything
new,
challenging with that guy. Anything new.
This plot does not challenge him. And it's weird because Ethan is a character that fundamentally isn't challenged because he's never going to waver from his ideal, what he does. It's just what you put in his way.
Yeah.
And in this movie, it almost feels like what you're putting in his way is like,
it's the action.
It's the action. It's what stunt is he gonna do this time?
Yeah.
It's not anything actually character related. And that's frustrating.
It's super frustrating. It comes from a mistake where it's like you should have kept Walker alive. You should have been a reoccurring villain.
Yeah.
That's the take that I have, because it's like Walker was such like good foil to that. After you get rid of Solomon Lane, Walker could have been a continuation of that and Fallout, another one foiled by Ethan, and someone who like goes with the consequences of that. I think that would have been really cool, like a really continuation of what you were doing. But instead, you went for something that Ethan can hardly challenge via the AI, and the AI, like you said, is such a like strange villain because he's supposed to be this all-knowing being who can predict everything that the characters could do, but at the same time,
because it only predicted because it knows so much about them.
Yeah, it can only be a way, but at the same time, those ideas are just so underwhelming because your characters still have to proceed in a way, and like the challenge is kind of just like, how can we make the plot move forward so the characters can win, but at the same time try to make the AI smart in our own way, but you still end up making the AI dumb.
And it's weird because the entity can't have an actual physical presence, you have to put something there to give it a physical threat and to give something an obstacle for the actual like characters to deal with. And then you have Gabriel, and
yeah,
Gabriel is.
Gabriel neither works as his own being or as the entity's extension. I don't think he works as either.
You never understand where he's coming from.
No.
Genuinely no idea what motivates him or makes him tick other than he likes causing suffering on people.
He's an agent of chaos.
And that is incredibly lame.
And worst of all is that he's so important to Ethan's past. But that doesn't amount to anything. Not here.
Not at all.
And definitely not in Final Reckoning.
We never learned what he actually did, or why that mattered to Ethan so much.
He killed his girl. That's really it.
Yeah.
But it's like you hardly need that. You know, it doesn't supply anything in the movie.
Doesn't play any significance to this movie at all.
Not at all. He could have been some new guy. I would have been better for the fact, honestly.
If he was just an entity mouthpiece, that would have been a lot
better that way.
Rather than him being somebody who is integral to Ethan's past, but we never really get a sense of that in the movie itself.
And that goes right along with like the entity's other henchmen. Like, what power does the entity withhold against people? How does something like that actually like get people to work under it? How does he get a cult following like that? You know, it's never so that's explored, and it's funny enough, it's stuff that's expanded upon in Final Reckoning, but again, not explored as much. The consequences to that don't play at all, other than just hearing about it. So you have to believe it to make the threat more possible. But at the same time, it's like I don't really see any of that.
Yeah, it's
and and that further like goes along with Paris. Who the fuck is Paris? What is Paris? Why is she here? Why is she so? Why does she so easily turn on the entity and everybody else just because they betrayed her? I get that, but like, where did all of that will go? You know?
Yeah. And it's really unfortunate that we have all these problems with it because there's so much that this movie does so well.
It's a comfortably well-made movie with the cool action and shit like that. Yeah. You know, it's got some of the best action in the series.
It has great action, and some of the character stuff I think really does work. Like the banter between the teams is great.
Best part of the movie is my life will always matter. Your life will always be more important than my own.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah. Because that's Ethan.
And better yet, what makes it better is Grace's reaction to it.
Mm-hmm.
Overwhelmed by it because it's like, you don't even know me, and by the looks of it, Grace is never someone that people have liked throughout her life. She's never been someone who has gotten that kind of a attention in a way where it's like so overwhelmed by the fact that people would save her, a complete stranger. And it's super interesting as someone who's like new to it all, overwhelmed by the fact that people are after her, and someone's willing to go so far to protect her, and she doesn't think she deserves it.
Yeah,
that's really great.
And she almost feels like a guilt about it too.
Yeah, it's we had to kill herself for it.
Yeah. It's very unfortunate.
It's been rough. Rough out here, man.
Yeah, it's rough. I think despite the fact that we have similar issues, I think we're of two very different minds on this movie.
Yes, you like it. I tolerate it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's too long.
Yeah, probably. It didn't feel as long as like Final Reckoning did.
Didn't feel as long, but it does. It's one of those rougher rewatches, honestly, because of the length, and me not being as excited to watch it, honestly. But yeah, it was like one of those that also just leans a little more back on the spy stuff. Feels like we go back a little bit with that. There's not too much of it, other than the opener and a few things. They sort of just go back to being more of an action movie than anything.
Yeah, it also tries to connect everything together in a way that I think this. It's hard because you can only do so many of these movies, and Tom Cruise is only getting older, and it's hard to make these movies. And I get it that you're like, okay, we think we're done, so we got to tie this together somehow, and it's I kind of just go like, do you really need to?
Do you really need to?
Like, you can end it without having to wrap everything up in a neat bow.
It doesn't always have to be leading to this. It's all been leading up to this moment.
Yeah.
It doesn't always have to do that,
It could just be what it is. Like,
it can just be what it is. You kind of forgot you were a sequel to the first movie already, so just it's fine. Forget it. Don't worry about it.
This movie's clearly trying to reflect that first movie a lot, and yeah, it just doesn't do it.
No,
not at all. We didn't mention it about Fallout, but the score in Fallout is incredible.
Yes.
And this movie
probably the best of all.
That movie keeps that
it keeps it up. It makes me.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna make a joke, so you go ahead.
Oh, well, see, it just keeps that standard going forward in this movie.
Okay. I was gonna say it makes me yell out, Lauren, stop it!
Yeah.
Because he's just destroying my ears with such good music. I can't take it anymore. It's too good.
Yeah. I don't know. All in all, I like Dead Reckoning, but it's It's fundamentally very flawed and very disappointing, but not as disappointing as the next movie.
Wait, what's your rating?
Oh, I'm at a 7 for Dead Reckoning.
I'm at a, I don't know, 6 maybe, I guess.
6, yeah.
Wait, no, that'd be okay. Okay, I think it's worse than 3. Okay, a 5. 5.5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, and our last movie, the final movie in this franchise, Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning.
Fallout Light.
Wishes.
Yeah. Yeah, that's why I said light. So more like Fallout. Worse than diet Fallout. It's worse than diet.
Zero sugar.
Zero sugar, yeah, zero sugar Fallout.
Yeah. Final Reckoning. Final Reckoning's structure is, I think, what annoys me the most about this movie. Like, that first hour, woof.
It's like, this is worrying.
Yeah. The first hour of that movie is fucking worrying. It is a struggle to get through that first hour of the movie. This movie's 3 hours. It's because it's like out the gate, you find out what the rabbit's foot was, and apparently it was the entity the whole time. The entity's source code or something. And it's like, that's okay. That happened like, what was it, like within 20 minutes of the movie starting?
You looked at me like,
I looked at you like, are you sure? Like, are you?
God, like fucking Mission Impossible 3. Like, imagine that me sitting next to the Mission Impossible 3 mega fan, and then they say it's a AI. It was an AI the whole time, and you look at me like, did this spite me?
Yeah. I did that. Like, fucking. I looked at you like it was the fucking the 50 Cent meme. What'd you say fuck me for?
What'd you say fuck me for?
Fuck 50. What'd you say fuck me for?
What did you say fuck me for?
It's literally the David Schwimmer meme too. It's like, get a load of this guy. I literally pointed at you like, you see that shit? And you just stared at me like,
Holy shit, I can't believe they did that.
Yeah. Because you could clearly in a little bit of disbelief, but you just gotta look back, make it like, I don't know, bro.
I think I had like the like whipping my hand forward and doing the face of the huh.
Yeah.
I think it's literally like the Mikasa image of the manga where she goes, huh?
Whereas I look at you like that.
The black man that also does the huh?
The meme where she's got her hand out.
It's the meme in the face.
Yeah. Whereas I looked at you like the fucking Benjamin Franklin or whatever it was, looking at the book, just staring back up. What?
Serious?
Like, you serious? Are you sure?
Yeah. Are you sure? Where's Johnny Man?
But
okay, let's let the brain rotting calm down. Yeah, rough start, you could say.
Final Reckoning is a really rough start. It really picks up probably when he gets to the submarine. And I mean like the first submarine, yeah. Not the Sevastopol. When he jumps out the fucking aircraft, yeah.
When he jumps out of the first hour of the movie. Get me out.
He's like, get me out of this movie. Get me out. Yeah. This movie has a lot of problems. It abandons the team. They don't really do much together. When they do, they don't have much of a vibe outside of like function for the plot. The characters aren't characters; they're plot functions. They serve only to make the plot move forward.
Team's worse than ever. Well, I mean, worse than ever. It's just like
no, it's not the worst.
No, I mean, it's the worst since 3.
And it's still better than 3 because you actually get to know these people.
Yeah, you know most of them.
Yeah,
you understand them more. It's
yeah,
just like fuck, you know.
You understand they have more to do.
Who's this old lady?
Except for Degas. Except for Degas. Degas gets nothing to do, to the point where he literally looks at the camera and goes, "I have nothing to do.
I have nothing to do. I will stay here."
Yeah, he literally looks at fucking Benji or Gracer and goes, I have no purpose here.
This old lady has more purpose than I do.
Yeah. It's crazy.
Why is there an old lady there? What the fuck?
Oh, shit.
I didn't think they were going to stick around for that long, dude. I'm not going to lie.
This movie is the big problem of, like, really trying to bring everything full circle, and it just...
It's dying together. It's all been leading up to this.
It's so forced. It does not work naturally in the story. Not. And
could you have believed that during Ghost Protocol, the Sevastopol was being fucking sabotaged by the AI, the Rabbit's Foot, by the way, the Rabbit's
Foot. It was the source code. It was the source code of the entity.
Yeah.
Fucking.
And the only guy who knew the location of that also happens to be the guy from the vault in Mission Impossible 1.
Yeah, who because of Ethan's choices ended up having a better life. Like,
who'd have thought, huh?
Who would have thought?
Fucking hell.
It's so silly. There was a point where I was half expecting them to, like, yeah, the virus that that Naya injected herself with in 2 was actually like the entity's original source code. Dude. And I would have been willing to buy that more than the Rabbit's Foot.
Computer source code, and turns out the antivirus of the virus in 2 is actually the antivirus against the AI.
Oh my god.
The fuck.
But like, the movie just makes choices at the start. Makes choices that it's just like, because you have the narrative perspective ones like Luther's death. Which is, I don't have an issue with Luther dying at all. Not really. I don't. I just wish it carried more weight.
He couldn't have been the most dead motherfucker in the movie if he said, "I'm going to die, Ethan." Ethan, I'm about to die. If he said that, I would have. Yeah, we knew. But like, he starts the movie, he's all sick, and he's like, "Don't worry about old Luther. This is gonna be just fine." You are so dead, motherfucker.
It's like you are a red shirt. Like
a red shirt. We're witnessing a walking corpse right now. You couldn't be more dead if you bled. It is over for you. You are done. It's over. Nice knowing you, Luther. I'm glad they sidelined you again, motherfucker.
He does kind of come full circle a little bit towards the end at the end of the film, but
yeah, that was nice, I suppose. Mm-hmm.
But that's it. Everything he basically serves no other purpose to the movie whatsoever.
That's it. I think it's like I think it's clear now to me that Benji got more respect in his movies than Luther did.
Maybe so.
Huh?
But I said maybe so.
Yeah.
But big problem this movie has with its structure is, we joked about it, but the flashbacks.
The
flashbacks and flash forwards and reminders. It's like, how little trust do you have in me to not remember something that happened at like 20 minutes earlier in the movie?
They literally flashback this that happened like barely 20 minutes ago. Like it's barely 20 minutes ago.
And sometimes it's like to show us new information, but sometimes it's also just to repeat what we already know.
And they do this multiple times.
Like, remember the scene where they're in the aircraft, the aircraft, and Marlowe or whatever his name is gives him the knife, and then he just flashbacks to when he fucking dropped the knife. It's like, no, we already know. We already know.
Like, I know we missed like part of the opener in the movie when we went in, but I swear to God that was like they were like making flashbacks to his accomplishments in the movie before it started, and I could swear they showed that.
Maybe.
Right, I feel like they showed that knife flipping shit multiple times in the movie.
Yeah, it's the entity also just disappears from this movie entirely. The entity just
they realized that he was a mistake, so they put him in the movie more, and now you have to rely on Gabriel.
who they also backpedaled hard.
That bit will be somehow worse in this one.
Yeah. Because he does less. He does nothing.
Does less, and he's hammy as shit, and he's like stupid. And he's pulling out nukes out of his ass.
Yep.
He's got a backup bipedal.
Yeah, he's got a backup biplane.
that might be my next new like quotable Mission Impossible thing. I've got an extra just in case.
Yeah. It's like, why do you have the extra plane?
Why do you tell me this?
Why do you have it? Number one, and why did you tell Ethan?
Just in case.
It's so dumb.
I'll get it at a minimal safe distance from the 36 megaton bomb, and I have an extra one just in case. And they're EMP proof.
But yeah, the movie does pick up after that first hour, but the problems never go away.
The problems do not go away.
And it does have highlights. Like, it has pretty decent action. The score is score's fine. It is still an entertaining movie to watch. Like, especially how we saw it in IMAX, and it's great for that format. Like, it looks fantastic. The big sequences, like, we both gushed over the Sevastopol sequence.
Yes.
And
very
then
good sequence.
I personally really enjoyed the biplane stuff.
I liked it too.
Yeah, there is quite a bit to like in here, and I think that's probably in part why. I think I'm starting to realize it. Yeah, I think that's part why. When we walked out of it and you were like, Dead Reckoning was better, I was like, huh? Because Final Reckoning leaves you on such a high. It leaves you on a good note, because Dead Reckoning leaves you on, oh, I guess that was, yeah. Yeah, that train sure was CG. That train, the train sequence is like, it's a good sequence, but it's a lot.
So you were like very much going off of the highs of the movie.
Yeah, the highs of that final act, and just like what the movie gives you towards the end. Because if it would have just been 3 hours of just that first act, we would have been having a very different conversation.
Might have been worse than 2 for all we know.
Fucking maybe. Yeah, man. The Final Reckoning has a lot of problems, and I'm gonna shut up now for a little bit, so you can talk about it a little more.
Oh, I thought we were talking evenly. I don't know what was saying. Gabriel's the worst villain. I feel like that's. I feel like that's just like clear cut. He is the worst villain in these movies. The Entity being second. Fucking. What a failure of antagonist. You know. Such a shame. But I guess to go to a more positive notes, yeah, the action's really good. I'm not as impressed with like how they're sequenced out in the movie compared to like Rogue Nation or Fallout. For instance, it's just that the ramp up felt lame, and the intensity wasn't there like it was for those other movies. Like, I like the Sevastopol sequence a lot, but I never once got out of it thinking, oh yeah, Ethan's gonna die, even though. And it's funny, they work so hard to get you to say he might die from this. This is a very dangerous thing he's gonna do. He's got like this so much limited time, he might die from this. I never once bought it.
Well, that's because Ethan Hunt is Jesus.
Yeah, he is literally Jesus. He's the manifestation of fate.
Yeah. Rogue Nation says that.
Yes, but they take it too far here. They take it too far. It's too far. Like we talked about the stuff where he's like, every action he's taken has been the right one because it's led to the fucking guy from Mission Impossible 1 being the one with the location to the Sevastopol.
Yeah.
Also, the Russians made another key. What do you mean? The point of everything was that they couldn't make another key.
Yeah, the whole reason everyone was after the cruciform key was because there was no other key.
And so that literally means
which
that the
also
Russians could have just...
Which also means the fucking the director of national intelligence is a fucking moron, because he could have just went to Russia and gotten another key.
He's a moron. And not only that, Gabriel wasn't the only one who knew about the Sevastopol's location. It wasn't just him. Some motherfucker in the Arctic knew about it too.
Motherfucker in Antarctica knew about it. Yeah.
What the fuck?
Which also makes it really funny because, I mean, I guess how would Kittredge know, right? But it's like, Kittredge sent that motherfucker out there. The one motherfucker who knows Kittredge sent his ass away. Oh, man.
So bad.
There's so much dumb shit.
This is dumb shit. Angela Bassett's the president.
Yeah.
Sloane. Yeah.
I actually didn't mind those sequences.
No, yeah.
They're not as much as a pace breaker as you would. I think you would think.
I liked her as someone in the perspective of dealing with the entities, taking over the missiles and shit. I think the dumb shit is
her cabinet.
The part where,
her cabinet.
Yeah, they're stupid. Like, hey, we're gonna send the first nuke to a country, but hey, we're gonna tell them how serious we are because we're gonna nuke our own, someone in our own state. What? Are you insane? Why?
Yeah, we gotta show them we're not hypocrites.
It's fucking insane little plan. Like, it's the dumbest shit I've ever heard. Insane. What do you mean? What are you doing? I hope. Oh God, you should fire them, Sloane. you should like, you're crazy. Get out now. Oh, so yeah, the cabinet people. So many high caliber actors there for some reason.
Yeah.
What the fuck? This movie has so many like the movie itself has so many like actors that I recognize.
Yeah. A lot of TV actors.
Yeah, a lot of TV actors.
Yeah.
Nick Offerman was there. He dies. By the way,
he sure does.
He dies. He's fucking president. He dies.
Yeah.
I'm dead. I'm dead.
Holt McCallany's there too. Jeanette McTeer. Hannah Waddingham. Trammell Tillman. Katie O'Brien.
They don't do anything.
Fucking Charles Parnell.
And they don't do shit in this movie. Same with Jim's son.
Yeah, Jim Phelps Jr.
The fuck? and that led to nothing.
Yeah, means literally fuck all
nothing.
to the movie. Literally means nothing because Shea Wiggum's character is barely in the movie.
Barely in the movie. He's barely
a
character.
Yeah, and it's fun. It sucks because Shea Wiggum's great.
It's great.
Yeah, so he's such a great that guy actor.
Yeah, I mean the funny thing about this, when I saw Dead Reckoning in the trailer, I thought he was the bad guy of the movie, or like an antagonist. Like he was an antagonist. I thought he was just like a pivotal role, like against Ethan. But he's kind of a clown in Ethan's perspective, like as someone who Ethan just like avoids with ease, and he's barely in this one.
Yeah, he's just with Kittredge on side duties that we never see.
Yep.
Yeah.
That leads to nothing. And Paris, her only goal in the movie is to fucking kill Gabriel, and she couldn't do that.
Yep, she didn't get the chance. Yeah.
And it doesn't mean anything.
Nope.
What a fucking job! Shoot him!
Oh no,
my guns out of ammo.
Yeah.
Swiss your shot arm, you stupid bit. God damn it.
Yeah.
Yeah, other characters don't get anything. Benji doesn't get shit. Grace doesn't really get anything other than being the Ilsa House replacement. Literally.
They don't really do anything interesting with her in this movie.
Other than her having her big squishy giant breasts against Tom Cruise's face for no reason whatsoever. Lily, no reason. The chamber is there for him only. Why are you there? You do not have to be there to warm up. That's what this chamber is fucking for.
Well, it was like a tent.
Yeah. It was a tent, but it was there to warm him up. That's what it set it up for. We're gonna put you in this tent, and you're gonna like warm up here. you do not need the shot of her breast on the screen. It's pretty cool. I like it. Thank you, but like it's obviously unnecessary. You know that. I felt like as overt as like the one in Mission Impossible 2.
Oh, definitely. But
Tom Cruise just said, "Hey, can you write me where I'm like, where my face is like right there? Chris, can you like, sure, Tom, I'll do that for you. Don't worry about it."
yeah. My biggest issue with the movie is that the tone is all fucked.
The tone is all fucked.
It's so depressing. It's so dour. There's like no room for jokes at all.
There's a few jokes, you know.
There's a few in there, but it's not many.
No. It's got the weirdest joke in all the movies. With before the titles hit, where Ethan kills those guys.
The fucking Looney Tunes bit?
Yeah, what the fuck was that? That was so weird. Like
weird
from
one.
Mission Impossible.
And then do you remember the joke right after that? Like the actual like cut to titles, where Grace is like standing there. He's like, "We gotta go." No, really, we gotta go. No, we seriously gotta go now. Like, what? Like, I was like, "What are we doing?"
And then the cut to it was so abrupt. Like suddenly Gabe was running.
Like the cut to credits was so weird. It's weird because I was thinking about it a lot, and each cut to credits in these movies beforehand is some like either crazy entertaining moment or funny moment or like poignant moment.
Or like it's like a slow, you know, starts
slow
the movie
build
and
up
then
to
it's just,
something and then
you get your da 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 da.
one has the most abrupt one outside of this one.
Yeah.
One and this one have the most abrupt ones, but like 2 has like a natural one where he hears the message, throws the glasses, boom, cut to credits. 3, you have the opening scene that's really intense, and as the scene is about to end, cut to credits. 4, like the.
You say credits. We should say opener, right? Because like
they're the titles, the main titles.
Yeah, titles. Yeah.
4, like the Fuse. Now we do very long opening titles. 5.
Yeah.
5, the intro sequence ends. Cut to titles. Fucking Fallout. It's done when we say it's done. Cut to titles. Dead Reckoning has one of my favorites. Like, how were you expecting on getting out of here? Of course. Dun 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 dun. Like, I think I remarked when I was watching this movie. I had a point that I made about the cut to titles on this one that I think kind of says what I kind of need to say about the tone of this movie. And I'll just read this. I was like, just look at the main titles, main theme of the franchise. It's taken from the original show, of course, but that theme embodies both the intensity of the action and the sleek spy film nature that these films do at their best. So when the opening titles play in this film, after about 10 to 15 minutes of morose end-of-the-world posturing and a little bit of humor, the cut to those credits feels more like an obligation rather than a sign of the fun to come. It feels like, oh yeah, we do need to do the cut to titles. Do a Looney Tunes bit and then we just cut.
Yeah.
It's really weird.
So weird.
And that's just something. Yeah.
And I think not the biggest issue of the movie, but like it's just a stranger part of the movie where it's like this is the last one and it doesn't feel like it.
No, it leaves way too much open. If this is the end, it doesn't feel like it.
It doesn't feel like it. That doesn't embrace the fact of it ending. I don't feel closure. I feel like
and
that was another day in the office.
Yeah, and it just feels like Tuesday. Yeah, it's really weird. And
it's a random M. Bison day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, oh,
Yeah. For you, what was the worst day of your life? For me, was Monday.
it's Tuesday.
Does he say Tuesday or does he say Monday?
I think it's a Wednesday, actually.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. It's a hard line.
Yeah, it's a crazy ass line in a movie that's absolute dog shit.
Boo.
Yeah, man, I don't really have too much more to say about this movie, so.
I think there'll be another one after this.
Probably.
Tom Cruise will look at the box office numbers and he'll be like, "Nah."
Yeah, that's if this movie makes $800 million.
It will not, and that's the reason why he will make another one. The reason he will make another is because he's got to set the record straight. So he'll make another one. He'll make one. I feel like I hope he realizes that his mistake came from fucking making this movie way too expensive. So if you make another one, make it less expensive. Tom, Chris, Paramount.
Yeah.
Chill out. But yeah, as a Mission Impossible fanatic throughout, the years of having watched these movies, having loved most of them, and as someone who was expecting a lot more out of this and the one prior to this, like as a sequence of like this is the end of this franchise, I am very disappointed by this and the last one, especially this, because I thought it would have been at least a fix, I don't know, like something to make up for the mistakes that were made in Dead Reckoning. But in an attempt to do that, it ends up worse by it.
Just one last hurrah.
It feels is a one last hurrah, but at the point, like you said, it feels like an obligation rather than the fun to come.
Yeah.
So it's deflating, really.
Yeah, it's unfortunate.
It didn't have to be this way. Yeah.
Because there's hints of what it could have been or what it can do.
They're out. Yeah, they are. And Fallout really just felt like the peak of it all. And
yeah.
At this point, I would just say Fallout should have just been the last one. At that point, it did everything that it could have done. It made money. It was the most successful one. It had a good like closure to Ethan's character, even if there was more to tell. It didn't lose money. It didn't cost Paramount millions of dollars.
Yeah, it didn't nearly bankrupt the studio.
Yeah. That's like what? That's almost like $1 billion total of like
between both
or 700
movies,
million.
Yeah, between both movies, it's like $700 to $800 million.
That's a lot of money to lose.
Yeah,
and not get back in anything.
Yeah, they aren't Avengers movies. We're not gonna make that money back.
No, they're not. And this both of these movies feel like them overstating the fact that Mission Impossible isn't as popular as I thought it was. It's plenty popular, plenty influential. That theme song, everyone's heard it once or twice in their lives, but it's not that big.
Yeah,
it's not a powerhouse. It's one people will remember and watch for years to come, but it's not one people will, unfortunately, the one that people will like egg their parents to see in theaters. And Dead Reckoning and this felt like a huge realization of this.
Yeah.
It came out
plays to a specific crowd.
and the fucking release windows are insane for both of these.
Yeah.
Oppenheimer, Lilo and Stitch. What were you thinking?
With
that money?
Yeah, Barbenheimer. Yeah.
Barbenheimer. And with that budget, are you insane? Yeah. It's a fart in the wind, basically.
Like a turd in the wind.
Turd in the wind.
Yeah, I'm sure there's more to say. I just don't have any more.
It's sad. I'm sad.
Yeah, I gave it like a 6.5. I still kind of walked away feeling like, yeah, it was fine. It was okay. I enjoyed it, but not anything to write home about, which was unfortunate because I was really going in hoping.
I was going in hoping too. I was hoping for like some, at least better than The Reckoning was hoping. At least.
Yeah.
Couldn't even get that.
Yeah.
maybe I'm at a 5 also. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like similar to Dead Reckoning. I think Dead Reckoning's better, but maybe I'll push it to the 4.5. Like it's leaning there. It's just like so disappointing.
You could hit the YMS and say it's a 5, but closer to a 4.5.
It is closer to a 4 than a 5. That is true. Closer to a 4 than a 5.
Yeah. All right.
I think, and this feels like a minority thing because these movies are beloved, both of these, like critically.
Final Reckoning not as much.
Not as much.
No, Final Reckoning has a considerably lower score. If like for considering Rotten Tomatoes, Final Reckoning has a much lower score than Dead Reckoning.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like 20% lower or something.
Yeah, but it feels like an average audience will come out of this being like, oh my god, it was so good.
Yeah. No, most people are gonna walk out of Final Reckoning going, it's like it's the second coming of God. It's this is why you go watch movies in the theater. This is what movies are all about. I can't say I entirely disagree. I think we both walked out of it going like, yeah, no, not every movie can do this.
Yeah, no,
there is nothing
genuine,
like
it.
Yeah.
It is a genuine, fun popcorn experience with all the action and shit and the drama and whatever.
And the big
it's got
stunts.
comedy. People like comedy. People like to laugh.
And the big stunts, are the stuff you got to see on the big screen.
It's got the stunt six, but you know what? Not many people are gonna go see it because they're gonna see the blue goober.
Yeah, they're gonna see the blue goober, and then they're gonna see the scaly goober.
They're gonna see the blue goober, and then they're gonna see the sister abandoning the other sister.
Yeah. All right, final hair reckoning. Final Reckoning has the worst Ethan Hunt hair.
Yes, it does have the worst Ethan Hunt hair. Oh my god, what is that fucking mop?
Yeah. And then followed at the top, followed by Dead Reckoning for haircuts for me.
Basically the same,
Yeah.
So short hair better, right?
Yeah, short hair better, but he's had some good long hairs.
It doesn't go long hair. Ghost Protocol's 4, right?
Yeah.
4. Ghost Protocol 4, huh?
And that...
The fourth one is the fourth best one for the hair.
And that was our reviews of the Mission Impossible movies.
Yeah.
What a franchise.
What a franchise. What a seesaw,
Yeah. It's I still love these movies.
Sure.
Even Final Reckoning I'd rewatch. Like it's a
Yeah, I think one day, in 2 years from now, I will be rewatching these movies again. It's par for the course, because I like it. Yeah. Even 2. I'll even watch you too. I love you and your little insanity. And your misogynistic points of view. I love it. So fun. See, you're not that difficult. So walk in the park.
Oh my god. You gotta stop. You gotta stop.
Never.
Yeah. 8 movies. Genuinely, if they never make another Mission Impossible movie again, well, what a hell of a franchise.
This is man, watch. I'll make another one.
Yeah, it'll be 9. But yeah, I do enjoy this franchise. Despite the fact that Final Reckoning was such like a kind of buzzkill, I do really love these movies and will gladly
my favorites.
Will gladly watch them at any point. And they're especially such fun movies to watch in the theater. So.
Hey, it's a better 8-movie experience than Harry Potter. Fight me. Fight me, person who disagrees.
I gotta watch those movies again before I fight that.
I don't think you will. I don't think there's a movie in it that touches Ghost Protocol or Fallout.
Goblet of Fire.
I like Goblet of Fire because it has dragons. Alright? But that's a stupid ass movie where they put the children in danger for the game. Let's kidnap these kids and put them in the water so they can die, probably.
That's you had a very high opinion of Goblet of Fire last time.
That was like what, 4 years ago?
It was 4 years ago.
I was going off the hype. Not gonna lie. I think I've changed a little bit with that. But hey, like I said, that one has dragons in it, so that makes it automatically the best one.
Death and Alice Part 2.
Doesn't have dragons in it.
It does have Snape's memories.
Huh?
It does have Snape's memories.
It does have Snape's memories, but we should kill Harry Potter's father.
James Potter.
Yeah, James Potter must die.
Yeah.
Maybe they should cast Daniel Craig as James Potter, and then I'll hate him. Not that I hate Daniel Craig, he just plays really good bad guys.
Oh, that sounds like, what did Daniel Craig do to you?
He plays really good bad guys. Did you see him in Road to Perdition?
I have not seen him. I have not seen Road to Perdition. I've heard good things about Road to Perdition.
Really great movie. Really great movie.
Based off of a comic book.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Sick. Yeah, he plays such a fucking scumbag in that movie. I'm glad he died in that movie. Kill him.
Directed by Sam Mendes.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah. All right. Well, I guess that kind of concludes that. Huh?
That concludes it for sure.
We were planning on doing a Superman watch, so that could happen. Possible. We'll definitely.
Like most of the Superman movies, or like
the live action ones that are not called Man of Steel or Batman v Superman.
That's fair. That's fair. Maybe I don't know. Maybe I can. There's no way you can see it. Never mind. It's not Max anymore because Max is stupid.
But we'll probably do one of these for Superman, right? Like the Superman, James Gunn Superman.
Yeah, I'm prep. Better to do this. It would be more perfect because there's still time.
Yeah, we still got time. It's July 11th. Oh, sorry, it's movie's on July 11th. It's June 11th, so it's exactly.
It came out today. We missed it. Shit. Fuck. Damn.
Yeah. Mission Impossible. This video will self-destruct in 5, 4, 3.
Shit. Fuck.
1.
Shit.